going on, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Viall Files. I am your host, Nick, joined by the household. And boy, do we have an episode for you. The fabulous Emma Hernan is with us for Going Deeper. That was a fun episode, chatting with Emma.
Yeah, that was great.
Very excited for you guys to hear that. We have obviously so much to get into. Before we get to Emma, starting off, it's with great sadness, great sadness that we are saying goodbye to arguably the mother of the household, the founding mother of the household, the one and only, very special person to our family. Allison Martin is moving onward and upward in the great state of Minnesota and leaving the show.
Aww.
Do you want to say anything, Allie?
I didn't know if I was supposed to.
We're obviously very sad to see Allie go.
Yeah.
You know, Allie's been my longest running employee and my favorite. Yeah. Of the longest ones. Yeah.
He says that on my last day.
It's okay
Well,
if she's
my
your favorite.
favorite.
It makes sense that she'd be your favorite.
She's been with us from the beginning. I mean, the show wouldn't be where it is without her. And you know, she been running a lot of things for the show. So we're sad to see her go. Are you joining Chrissy in the woods?
I don't think I would survive in the woods, to be honest.
A lot of people are like, who the fuck's Chrissy?
Yeah.
Justice for Chrissy.
Oh.
Yeah. You will always, just so you know, it goes without saying, but you will always be a member of the household.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll just start emailing in, ask Nick questions, just like pop up on a Zoom.
We would love that.
Yeah, that would be great.
No, I said it kind of to the team when we talked about it internally, but like, it's been very fun to watch the show change in different ways. Like, I mean, hell, we didn't even used to have like names for like Going Deeper and stuff like that. And we've switched all these studios and we've created this whole team. And now we have other shows and we have Viall Files Plus and all this other stuff. So it's been fun to watch it expand and
way to plug Viall Files Plus in your exit.
Well, that was a big fucking deal.
Really
Not everyone can
appreciate that,
get Nick to dance to High School Musical in the middle of a street.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been really cool to watch things change as much as they have. And honestly, it's credit to you guys and the new team that we've built that I can walk away and I feel confident walking away because I know how talented everybody is. That they'll keep on keeping on.
Well, we are excited to see what's next for you, Allie.
I feel like you've definitely been the glue for the Viall Files, and it's gonna be sad to not see your face every morning.
No,
I know, but you have my number, so
Pour
we'll
one
just
out for
FaceTime.
Allie, everyone listening. Wherever you
Pour
are.
one out for Old Faithful.
Well, she's not gone yet. So
And she's not dead, so maybe she'll come back.
never
Maybe
know.
she'll come back.
Never
Everyone
know.
go flood her comments and say come back.
Oh.
Yes, please.
All right. Well, we do have a lot to get into. Allie is not gone yet. So let's get into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
On a darker note, P. Diddy still fucking sucks. Yeah, Rolling Stones came out with a new kind of deep dive expose about him, kind of piggybacking off of our friend of show, the wonderful and great Elizabeth Wagmeister, who broke the most recent kind of groundbreaking story, finding that hotel video very sad, very disturbing. Rolling Stone has done a deeper dive. It seems like more of the same. He's a real shitty guy. It sounds like, I think the biggest takeaways is he's been a shitty guy his whole life.
Since
Sounds
college.
like since college. More and more people are coming forward. Obviously, and this is pretty typical, right? It's very scary to come forward if you're a victim of this type of tragedy, but you know, strength in numbers.
Well, speaking
Yeah.
of Elizabeth and CNN, before we get into Rolling Stone, they actually just broke that they learned the scope of the Diddy investigation is much larger, focusing on sex trafficking, money laundering, and illegal drugs.
That CNN said that.
Yeah.
Like the scope of the investigation.
hmm
Okay, yeah. It seems like the laws of justice are really starting to come down on Diddy. It seems like it's on, you know, like I think most of the time when it comes to these types of monster celebrities, I think there's a lot of doubt or just like, belief that justice won't be served. You know, they're celebrities, you know, they can kind of buy their way out of this type of stuff. But every once in a while, like people like R. Kelly, who actually did face justice, Bill Cosby for a moment. Unfortunately, he got off on a technicality, but it seems like Mr. Puff Daddy Combs actually might be the next major celebrity who actually might face some real jail time. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, nothing's done yet, but the case doesn't seem to be going away or fading. It seems to only be getting bigger and bigger and the scope larger and larger.
Yeah, they basically recap what CNN came out with, saying Combs has been named in 8 civil lawsuits since November, 7 directly accusing him of sexual assault. One of the 8 lawsuits filed by former girlfriend Cassie Ventura has been settled. Another lawsuit accused his son Christian Combs of sexual assault, and Sean Combs is accused of aiding and abetting.
Yuck.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And then there was the Rolling Stones article as well.
It's always so gross when that type of trauma and abuse is passed down, and condoned.
It's also like he has daughters and like that it's so scary to like, now we see what he's like, in his personal life with his partners. And it's like how, you can only imagine, I'm sure, like what his children, I mean, you only hope that like he's a better father than he is a partner, but it's like, I feel for anyone who is around him and is alone with him. It seems incredibly scary.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've it's really sad. But I am glad that it seems like he is finally facing, I hope, some accountability and some justice for what he's done, because it's and the next big question is like where does the domino stop falling? He's a well-connected individual. It would almost seem hard to believe that his crimes stop with him, and he's associated himself with so many influential people, or any of the other influential people who have been in his close circle potentially guilty of some of the things that he seems to be guilty of as well.
I unfortunately think it's going to be one of those things where it's like surprising each person that comes out that we find out is connected to the crimes
Yeah.
at P. Diddy. And it'll be one of those like, oh, no, like
Yeah.
Because like if the federal government knows anything, as we learned from Josh Campbell, the former FBI agent of CNN, that like they probably know a lot of things already that they're not putting out to the public because they want to keep their case strong. So, known associates, people involved, especially if they're under investigation, they were probably investigating Diddy for months, maybe years before they ever raided his house. So I would be surprised if other known celebrities aren't, at least whether they actually face justice. I would be surprised, like to Nally's point, if other celebrities' names aren't flown out there if and when this thing goes to trial.
Yeah. I was going to say, the more that comes out about him, it's more likely that other people with accusations will feel comfortable coming out.
Yeah.
Because they know he's no longer like on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and CNN was saying that federal investigators are preparing to bring accusers of Sean Diddy Combs before a federal grand jury.
Yeah.
2 sources familiar with the probe tell CNN, signaling the U.S. Justice Department is moving toward potentially seeking an indictment of Combs.
Wow. Sounds like they're maybe days, weeks away from that. This will be a much talked about case for sure. This will be.
I wonder if it'll be televised, like his kind of like the Johnny and Amber.
my God.
Like I wonder
Mm.
if it will take, if
I don't know, because this will be a federal case, not a civil case. I mean, there are civil cases that obviously, people are coming and suing him. That's civil, but the whole with the FBI involved in the raid, that's federal. I don't know the policies on what's televised or not. Where like the Johnny and Amber one was more like a kind of a public spectacle between 2 celebrities type of thing. It wasn't a criminal case. Like no one was going to go to jail. It was.
I looked it up, and cameras aren't always allowed in federal court cases.
Are not always allowed.
Yeah. So it depends on
It's like a judge decision. It's the judge decision.
Well, this says that federal courts, however, have remained more resistant with only pilot programs allowing cameras in civil cases, but not criminal cases.
Yeah. I would be surprised. I think we're going to get those court drawings.
Oh.
Yeah. Of Diddy.
Do they still make those?
they do.
Oh my God. Yeah. They're all over. Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
The Taylor Swift sexual assault case, she had drawings of her.
Yeah. Anyways, very sad.
I do want to just point out one thing about Parenthood.
Please.
Please. I feel like, and disagree if you feel. I feel like we are
Amazing parents, for sure.
obviously more tired now than when she was a newborn. Yes or no?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. The other night we've
been on the go.
Yeah, we'd been on the go. We were extremely tired, and River wakes up once in the middle of the night. It's usually around
For
like
like a snack.
2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll breastfeed her for however long she goes, and then Nick burps her, right? So we both have to get up. We both, not one person. It's a team effort around
Yeah.
here. We're a team.
I wasn't really involved in that decision. It was just more like, hey, wake up, burper. Which I am happy to participate in the rearing of our child and have it be a partnership. I'm fine with it. I just want to point out that
Feels like there's a butt coming.
we just didn't mutually agree on that system. But I'm happy to be a part of it. But please continue.
Anyways, and so we were I was so tired, and I don't know what happened, but I just woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, Nick, burper. And he was like, how long did she feed for?
Natalie always goes, like, again, Natalie will wake up, she'll feed River, and then when she gets done nursing, she'll wake me up. So I'll sleep. So I'm usually not privy to the nursing, but then she'll wake up, burper, I jump up, grab the burp rag. And I don't know what I asked.
You asked how long did she eat for?
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, wait, I don't think I fed her.
You just woke up and said, burper.
It was
Literally.
just like muscle memory of being like, burper. He was like, huh? And I was like, wait, don't burp her. Wait, I think I have to feed her first.
That would have been so funny if Nick just went in, like picked her up and
No, I
started
was-
burping
no, I was-
her,
I
and she's
was.
just like,
So she-
No, I was
And
burping her. And I was like,
he
so again, and she hadn't burped in, I don't know, usually it's a pretty quick burp. Every once in a while you have to go a couple minutes. But I was like, how long did she nurse for? And she's like,
oh my God.
I don't think I did. And I'm like, what? So that was kind of funny. Yeah.
He also, we were at the lake house. At the lake house, it's very quiet, right? Very peaceful. Not a lot of horns honking or airplanes going or outside noise. Very, very quiet. And Nick decides to cough, and his cough doesn't wake River up, but she's definitely like makes a noise. So it's like enough to be like, okay, like don't do that again because you are going to wake her up. And he tried to like cough into his pillow. I'm like, please, you have to stop. So he goes out of the room, finds a cough drop, which if
I
you
knew
know
in my tired slumber, I remember when packing my bag for the lake trip that I found like a side pocket of cough drops.
Mm-hmm. Which, if y'all know anything about Nick, y'all know that he is
It's
incapable
the worst
of sucking on a
sound
cough
that you'll
drop.
ever hear in your life. It's terrible.
You crunch it, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
swallow it?
Absolutely. He cannot, for the life of him, suck on a cough drop, which it's like that's actually how it helps you is to like suck on it and it lozenges. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It specifically says on the packaging, do not chew.
Exactly. Well, Nick, he can't. So he gets
I
this cough
sucked
drop,
this
and
bad
I
boy.
immediately am like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And he gets back in the bed with this cough drop in his mouth, and it is so insanely quiet. And all I hear is him crunching on this fucking cough drop. And I'm like, Nick, you've got to suck it. You've got to suck it. And he's like, oh, okay. And so he's trying, he's moving it all. It's hitting his teeth, making all this noise. He grabs like 4 more. We go through 4. I'm like, there's more? Like, how many fucking cough drops do you have? And we're going
I
to
had
chew
3.
all of them.
I had 3.
It was, I told Nick, I said, there was a moment where I was like, I think I hate him. I was like, he would not, like, I wanted to hit you in the most loving way.
I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah.
But it was gnarly.
You need the lozenges that are so strong that it like numbs your whole mouth so that you can't chew.
Is that a thing?
Well, not so much to the point that you can't chew, but it'll actually work because you're not going to be like moving it around. It'll
I'm
just
a
be in there.
Ricola girly.
You're also
Suppose it
not
can be.
supposed to have more than a certain amount in like a day.
Oh yeah. Well,
They're
eats some, like-
sugar-free.
He eats some like candy.
I don't know if it's the sugar. That's the part.
Well, Ricola is candy dang near though.
It's sugar free.
But it, like-
it's kind of like candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say I eat Tums like candy.
Oh my god.
That seems not. That's more concerning than me sucking down a couple of Ricolas.
No, they're the same.
I'm sure.
I don't think
Eh,
so.
no.
It's just
Like your gut
candy.
health, super important. I don't. Probably both bad.
Both bad.
You are pregnant though.
Which
Does Tums help?
probably makes it worse.
Oh, well.
Tums helps with
No.
the heartburn.
Tums helps with Pepcid is the best.
Never use that. I would get heartburn at night, like in third trimester, and that was the only time I had Tums.
How do you
Yeah.
eat a popsicle?
Oh dear God.
I bite it.
No, with
I
your
lick
front
it
teeth.
and then bite.
Oh.
Yeah.
I chomp it.
Yeah,
with
I
your
chomp
front
it.
teeth or your side teeth.
It takes too long to
Front.
lick the whole
You
thing
don't
down.
get brain freeze.
I'm like,
Oh no!
Little by little.
Natalie tried
Oh,
recording me
no.
the other day, and I was too embarrassed to allow her. She was ready to publicly shame me.
I mean, it's gnarly. One day I'll get it and I'll have to show y'all because and I was like, look in the mirror. Watch yourself chew this popsicle.
It was an ick, obviously.
Do you also bite ice cream?
Yeah, like an ice cream cone.
I think I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Doesn't
the-
that like feel bad on your teeth? Like it's like that makes me cringe.
I just
How
don't
are
have the
you not
patience to go.
feelings?
That's the thing, it takes too long to lick the whole thing, yeah.
Like I'm not fucking 7.
Okay.
You
All right,
know,
how do you eat string cheese?
I don't.
Oh, you don't like string cheese?
I haven't had string cheese literally since I
Okay,
was
but
6.
it's pretty much the equivalent of Twizzler pull and peels. So how do you?
I fucking love Twizzlers pull
There
and
you go.
peels.
There you go.
I pull like 2 or 3.
And then you eat the rest of it just like as a chunk?
No, I will pull and peel.
So you're stringing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin eats it like this way.
So
Like
I
a mouse?
No, no, no.
Like
So I string it, but I
What?
don't like touching the cheese itself. So I leave
No,
the
you
wrapper
take
on it.
bites out of the side.
No, no. So I leave the wrappers
Like
on
a
it, and then
banana.
I string it with my teeth, so I don't have to touch it with my fingers.
Is that how you eat a banana?
I don't eat bananas.
Okay.
But it's like so I'm literally just like peeling.
Why
like
don't you
this.
like touching it?
I don't know. I think it's just a germaphobe thing.
Are you
Are
German?
you a germaphobe?
I don't think so, but I don't like touching cheese.
Do you wear shoes in your house?
No.
You take them off at the front door.
Yeah.
Is
Are
that because you're a germaphobe? Or
Asian household? I don't know.
Are you a shoes off house?
Yes.
My life.
I mean,
would be
once in a while,
so-
I need to be reminded, but we are shoes off household. I have to
Nick's
remind our
like
guests.
shoes off once he gets to the living room, and I'm like, it defeats the fucking purpose. Shoes off right when you walk in the door.
Well, because you have carpet in your living room, right?
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah,
a
we do.
carpet
Yeah.
or a rug. So like that makes sense. Just
Listen,
take
I
it
have
up
some
there.
things to work on as a partner.
But also, it's like we have all tile, and it like if I walk around barefoot on the tile and like the floors haven't been like my feet are black,
Gone
and it's
for.
because like he's walking around in his shit kickers that he's been like stomping through LA with, and now it's on my floor.
Yeah.
It's honestly the grossest thing anyone can do, and I'm surprised more people aren't anti shoes in their house. Like I get it's a little bit inconvenient because like you put on the shoes, the shoes are in your closet, and then you got to take them to the front door, put them on. I get that, but like,
That's gross. It's an absolutely disgusting thing.
and Nick also, well, we're on the roll. Sorry, but something else I cannot stand. I don't know if this is relatable at all, but like shoes on like the bathroom rug. So like you step
Oh.
out of the shower with your clean feet onto a rug that
Do
like
I
outside shoes have
do
been
I-
on.
do I stand on the bathroom rug? I mean, I'm
Sometimes
sure
you'll, like,
I've
walk-
done it.
Sometimes you'll like walk through it, and I'm like, you know, I have to avoid that spot.
What about getting out of the shower and then just making everything wet?
Oh my god, is it like incapable for men to dry off fully?
That's what I'm wondering.
I will
like-
say I have to air dry. Like I
Why?
dry most of it, and then I like just let myself air dry a little bit.
Bougie.
You pat down.
I just like sit for a little bit in there and
Where
let
are
it like
you
evaporate.
sitting, sopping
Or
wet?
like I don't know, like just
I'm
walk.
just like not that concerned with fully drying.
That's just crazy to me that you're like okay with putting on a shirt over like a wet back.
A couple drops aren't going to kill anyone.
Are you getting into bed still a little wet?
I don't shower at night normally.
He's a morning shower guy. I'm a night shower girl.
Yeah.
What about you?
Kind of same.
To which one?
To night, I night shower.
Danny's a morning. guy.
Danny's a morning.
Allie?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to do it at night or else I just won't do it. Like if it came down to it and I had to wake up, I don't wake up early for anything.
Yeah, thank you. That's how
Like
I
if
am.
I set an alarm for an extra 20 minutes to take a shower, it's not happening.
I will say I've been alarmed by realizing just how much like women like aren't like regular showers.
Okay, what the fuck?
Well, I admitted to this like a while ago, but I'm
Hey, Allie
not a
too.
regular
But it's just like it's
shower.
almost like you don't shower every day.
No, I was talking to my family this past weekend, and as a child, I would have to literally be told to shower because I didn't like doing it.
As a child,
and then I
for
went
sure.
to camp for like a week, and then I came back, and I think we kind of all got out of our routines. And then I got my ears pierced, and then like later on, my dad was like, "You should probably take a shower." And I realized I hadn't showered since I got my ears pierced, which was 2 weeks before.
Oh,
Allie.
no.
But I've heard from ever since, like
It's because of the hair,
I
right?
think
'Cause
it's
you don't wash
mostly.
it.
I mean,
I always hear
would
how
hope
men are
that, like, you're
disgusting, but then I
showering-
find out how y'all aren't
Well,
showering
No,
on a
I think
regular
it's different.
basis.
So like, okay, so like shower to like wash your body, I would say I mean, I would do that every day.
like a rinse, a body rinse.
Sure, wash
all
my
I mean.
pits, wash my ass, like we're getting like, but my hair?
No.
I can't.
Once
like,
a week.
Oh my God.
Once
I
a
wash my
week.
hair
Yeah.
once a week too.
But you get it wet. So I don't even want to get my hair wet.
Sure. Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
get it wet.
But you're saying that people don't like I think that's
I'm
what
just
people, I think that's
surprised
what
to
women
find out
need.
how like ever since this became a thing, a lot of women be like, oh yeah, I don't showering, like, oh wow.
I'm also not I'm not sweating that much.
That's the thing. I shower now. I work out every day, so I'll shower if I work out. But
Okay.
So you're back to showering every day, not
Let us
every
know in
2
the
weeks.
comments
yeah.
how much you're showering.
No, I think it's
curious.
honestly like
Are you a everyday person? Are you 3 days a week? Are you once a week? What's the
I'm
no,
frequency?
I think
sometimes I can
there's-
get bad though. If I work out later in the day and then I know I'm working out the next morning, I'll just
Oh
sleep in
no.
my sweat.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'll always wash my body, but it's the hair thing that I'm like, I'm not washing my hair. Like,
What were you saying? You think what?
I think that there's several things, and I don't know if this is just me. I'm alone in this, but like the shoes in the house, anything touching a bathroom rug, outside clothes in a bed, or
Mhm.
like plain clothes. Like you should immediately, when you get home from an airplane at the airport, change your clothes. Like don't come in and sit on your
Immediately.
couch, sit on your chair. It's like we should immediately be changing your clothes and showering. And I feel like I don't know if all people live to that, but I would like to talk to them and figure out why.
Maybe you're the real germaphobe.
No, I agree with all of those
I
things.
agree,
and
though.
I'm
I
not a
agree.
germaphobe.
I
yeah.
agree.
Airports are different. Like during COVID, my sister would like sit in the exact all the way back in the car with her full N95 on, get into the house, strip butt naked, put everything in scalding hot water, run down, take a scalding hot shower, and then come up and give us a hug.
Oh my God. I also think
Well, this is after work as a doctor or flying?
Flying.
Both.
Oh.
I also think
Wow.
people who pack their suitcase with their suitcase on their bed, that's fucking gross.
That
and
is
I saw
gross.
our
Yeah.
sweet Sierra post on her Instagram story packing for Paris.
Well, if she does wipe,
Well, I've done that.
if she
I
wipes the
know.
that
luggage off
too.
after, because after every trip I wipe it
You
down.
need to sanitize your suitcase. I'm not, which I've never done. But, but
yeah, I mean the wheels,
I bet
all
Sierra
of it,
does.
I would hope so. Because I do see people like packing their suitcases on their bed, and I'm like, I don't even want it on our new carpet in like the guest bedrooms.
I do pack my suitcase on my bed. Where else am I gonna? I'm not gonna bend.
oh God, well, you are pregnant now, but
Yeah.
prior to pregnancy, you were
Pre-pregnancy.
like still like a non-bender.
No, it
Anti-bend?
hurts my back.
Okay, you're not even tall.
Okay.
Yes, by the way,
Squat.
Sierra is in Paris.
Yeah, oh yes.
Yeah, she'll be back.
Question,
Shoot.
Natalie, did
What?
Nick bake you a cake on your birthday?
No.
No?
No,
Mm.
you did not.
You share that with the.
Did you bake your own cake on your birthday?
I did not.
Is that something people should be doing? Is that more thought into baking your partner's cake? Because honestly, I don't think I've ever baked a cake for anyone ever.
Well, I would love to.
Would you appreciate me
Oh,
baking you a cake?
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I think that would be something that's really memorable to do with our daughter when she's old enough.
Oh, for sure.
Or do you want me to do it sooner than that?
I
'Cause,
really
like,
don't.
we're like at least
No.
3 years away from.
Listen,
her,
I
like, knowing
really
what the
don't
fuck's
like
going
eat
on.
cake very often, so I don't like need the cake. But it is like if you were to do that at some point in my life, I would be like, oh my God, that was like so thoughtful
Okay.
and so sweet. But it's not. I'm not like I would want the David Yurman necklace more.
Understood. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't need you to bake me a cake.
Okay.
Well, did you see the video of the woman that went viral?
Oh, yes, I did.
Where she
The
was
mom.
single. She posted it and said baking her own cake as a single mother. But her ex-husband posted a stitch to the TikTok saying that he actually has full custody of the kids and he has receipts. She owes over $21,000 in child support, stole almost $1 million from another guy, and faked cancer.
Yeah. No, I saw that. It was a doozy. The first video got like 43 million
Yeah,
views.
I remember seeing the first video before I saw the stitch, and I was like,
Poor
"Aw."
thing. Oh,
Yeah.
You know, why does she have to make her own cake? But again, it goes to tell you that like it's always a major red flag when you see someone recording their own tears. It's always
Mm.
you always have to like take yourself out of what you're watching, because like, you know, like social media, just like reality TV, is kind of like the joy of it is the mind numbing aspect of it, to kind of turn your brain off and scroll through or watch reality TV. So you're not really kind of connecting the dots. This is why reality TV is able to get away with so much, because like we're rarely ever like thinking, oh, they're making a TV show. This requires like cameras and audio.
Curation.
And like, you know, people aren't just like magically mic'd up, you know, when people are just like, oh, you showed up, you know, shit like that, you know? And so when people are recording their own tears, to have that, hold on, I should record this and then set it up and get them check the lighting just so they can cry. It's always a red fucking flag. I don't know if it's as much of a red flag as this one, because like, yeah, then this guy showed up, had a response. He's posting receipts about a mugshot, and then it was like, and then, oh yeah, she faked cancer. She got arrested for like stealing over $1 million allegedly from someone else.
Almost $1 million.
And then she had a response video to his video. So then there's like a whole TikTok drama. And it started with, I don't want to talk shit about my children's father.
But. Well, that's the other
Then she went on to
thing.
accuse him of abuse and being a Scientologist, which then a lot of people were like, you know.
What's the other thing? I think about the kids in this situation.
So sad.
And it's just like one day they'll see this.
Yes. So sad.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I feel like it's great, I guess, that we know that she's a shitty person, but like, I don't feel like we didn't really need to know that. You know, I guess he was for sure frustrated when everyone in his like town was sending the video, and you know, it got under his skin that the world thinks she's like feels bad for her, and he's like,
I get, it's like never, because like once he makes the video, he immediately is under the same kind of criticism that she's under of like, did you really need to like go public with this?
And also with all the screenshots and the shit, it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's but consider at the same time, if she is this bad, you know, where she is so kind of going for attention and lying and all these things, where it's just like, how do you fight against that? You know, I don't know. And all of a sudden she makes a video and 43 million people see it, and everyone's just like, oh, you poor thing, whoever your husband is, he's a fucking piece of shit. You know, I don't know, like, it's tough.
I don't know. I guess it would be different if she was like, you know, my ex-husband like refuses to take the kids, or like if she made a video like talking shit about him and he was like, okay, well, like here's receipts, like this isn't fucking true, but she didn't ever mention him. Like, I just feels like messy on his part, like for the children's sake, to come out with
totally
all of this shit.
I don't think there's any good. I don't know what I would do if I was in his shoes, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I agree. I think the right answer is, you're right. Like the best response is never to respond to the internet, because it always just gets messier. You add to the conversation, but everyone's human.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. And I think honestly, it like pissed him off so much to see like, everyone feeling bad for her while like she owes $20,000 in child support and she's this fake cancer.
Doesn't even like have custody. Yeah.
He's like making a grocery list of what all the cake ingredients cost, and he's like, please just apply this to child support.
Well, what's kind of crazy though is if you go to her page, I don't know if it's still up there, she has a GoFundMe link in her bio. So she is using this drama to ask for donations
to pay her child support.
I don't know if it's for child support.
Good marketing then.
I think it's like, maybe, you know, I think she's identifying herself as a victim of him. And I think it is somehow tied to that. So like she's just keeping on.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Natalie. I think that it was more so, this guy can feel super upset with like she's lying, and that frustration, it's like the worst feeling where it's just like, oh, it's not fair.
No, yeah.
But like he does have kids in the picture, and it's like at a certain point you do just need to like take a second and think about how this is going to affect them, and if
because there's still a lot of people. I mean, and keep in mind, 43 million people saw hers and maybe 2 million saw his.
I saw hers on Instagram, and then you're the one who told me that there was a
second
second
hers
part.
on X, Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. And if you look at the comments, there are plenty of people who don't believe him. You know what I'm saying? So even though he's responded, he has opened up the can of worms for a lot. You know, now she replied, people are taking sides. You can't involve yourself in internet drama without like taking shrapnel. Like,
What was the timing in between her post and his response? That's what I would want
I
to know.
don't
Because I
think that
feel like I
long.
saw this video a long time ago.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know when she first posted. I don't think it's that long ago.
No.
Hmm.
It also doesn't take very long for a video to reach 43 million people on TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, it's a wild. Keep it in house. It also just is scary if all the accusations about her are true. It's scary to think about. This guy had 2 kids with her.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the fake cancer thing is like,
aggressive.
yeah, he like showed like a X-ray.
Scans. Yeah.
Or like fake scans or something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
Speaking of kids.
I'm really disappointed. As you guys know, I am generally pro nepotism. Big fan of nepotism. I joked, but in all seriousness, there was that article not too long ago that kind of called out nepotism in Hollywood, and I felt like that was a kind of an unfair article for a lot of the very talented performers and musicians and actors in Hollywood who do come from famous parents. Because like for most of those situations, they might get an agent or a manager that maybe they got prior to doing anything, but like a lot of these people are incredibly talented and have worked their ass off to overcome, judgments and stereotypes of them just being in it for, only getting what they got through their parents. But this latest case of nepotism, allegedly, regarding Northwest, Kim Kardashian's daughter, for any of you who don't know, the accusations are wild. Do we know if they're accusations or if they're true? The accusation being that Kim used her money, power, and influence to get her daughter Northwest casted as the lead in the Lion King play.
Yeah, so it's not much of an accusation, but on the opening night of The Lion King at the Hollywood Bowl, Northwest performed "I Just Can't Wait to Be King," and like the whole part of it,
Played Simba. Yeah.
Young
Right.
Simba.
And
Yeah,
she,
which isn't the lead,
Yeah.
because like older Simba would be the lead, I
Right.
guess. But yeah,
And
it's,
she
it's
only-
a big role.
It's a big role.
It's a
and
big
she-
role for
she
opening
o-
night at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
she
big
only
deal.
performed that song, but like the part that people are mad about is that she didn't really know, like she didn't look like she practiced, she wasn't singing on key, like at the ending of the performance, she didn't even know where to walk off. Like, so it looked very last minute. And then now we have parents coming up being like, here's my kid's audition tape. They auditioned for this song as well. And like, they didn't make it because Northwest got it.
Also, her costume was so clearly like
Yeezy.
a Kardashian moment too, because she didn't match anybody else on stage.
It was all ERL. Yeah.
Oh, so like it wasn't like the show gave all the kids had their own costumes?
Well, hers specifically,
Well,
like
I'm
she,
sure
yeah.
it was some like dingy little thing, and Kim
Hers was
"Oh,
like,
no."
I mean, the Lion King, their costumes are iconic, regardless of where you see the show. And it's these full body, like animal suits, and it's a lot of like tight, leotards and things like that. And hers was a fluffy, like zip up.
It looked like a
basically.
Yeezy outfit.
Yeah.
So I mean,
It's like a Halloween
yeah.
costume.
It's not much of an accusation, but it's just people being like, here's another example of nepotism. And like North could have, there's a possibility that maybe they reached out to Kim to be like, we need someone big to like grab attention. And I mean, it grabbed attention. We all know now that it's at the Hollywood Bowl, but there's also the possibility that Kim was like, can we get her in this?
Well, that's we don't know what's true. Because
No.
if the show reached out,
That changes everything.
it kind of changes everything, I just, like, as a parent, you're setting your kid up for failure. I never want to I want my kid to face challenges, and I want them to face adversity, and overcome stuff. But I don't want to set my kid up for like a false sense of, I don't want to give my kid a false sense of accomplishment or just the internet, like now you've put Northwest in the situation to be called out in ways that like a child of her age shouldn't be called out, and that's, what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing for Kim to be, a seasoned vet to like face the criticism she gets, but now you're just putting your kid in a situation to get the same type of criticism. It's tough. I don't know.
Where do you draw the line? Because like if River came to you guys with, I'm dying to do this. This is my dream. Like, how do you
Well, I mean, if
navigate that?
she came to us, I don't know what age she is in this hypothetical statement, but I would want her to understand what it takes to earn something, to work for it. I'd want her to audition. In this situation, I'd make her audition, even if, like, especially if the show asked, I would be like, well, if she wants to do it, make her audition. And if you really think she's good enough, because you want to set up your kids for success. You don't want to put them in a position to fail and then get criticism they're not ready for, or they didn't really know what they were getting into. I'd want her to earn it. I would want, and if she's not good enough, that's okay. She can get some notes and give her something to work on. There's always next season, it's like, I remember going to a soccer tryout when I was, and I remember my heart wasn't in it, and it wasn't because I didn't make the team. I was like 7 or 8 or something. And I remember just kind of not being a quote unquote aggressive and kind of, sitting on the side. I remember not making the team. And I remember my dad sitting me down and explaining to me why, because it was like my lack of energy or just like I was kind of more timid. It had nothing to do with my skills. And next year I tried out. And what I remember was like, going for it, and I made the team, and that was I was 8 years old. I don't know how old I was, young, and I still remember that lesson to this day, and that's part of growing up,
Yeah, for sure. And
but if everything you're given is just like, yeah, you're fucking famous, and then you throw them to the wolves, it's tough.
Yeah, because there are so many people who have said, the way that I learned was through rejection or through failing.
Yeah.
So
I can't imagine though if I went there to see The Lion King and then I just saw someone like half-ass a performance, like on the stage.
Yeah. And then you find out their parents are super famous.
Yeah, and that's why she's there.
Yeah.
in other Kardashian news, Gypsy Rose seems to be on the new season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
It actually makes a lot of sense because isn't Kim really into big in like criminal justice reform? So I'm guessing it has something to do with that. Yeah. Excited to see that episode. I'm just really excited to see what Gypsy and Kim have to talk about. It's kind of a big move for her.
No,
Gypsy.
for
The
Gypsy,
trailer
that's massive.
for Gypsy's show was wild. Like the
Gypsy's
full
episode
trailer
or
By
the
time.
with
oh.
Kent, like the trailer for Life After Prison or Life
I haven't
After
seen it. Is it
whatever it's
out?
called. Yeah, the like full trailer.
I'm in.
It does look
I'm
really
so
good.
in. I'm so in.
Wow.
When's it
That's
start?
gnarly.
When's it come out?
Premiering June 3rd at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Almost
Hell yeah.
there.
We'll be watching that. Yeah. Let me get Gypsy back on.
You know what else we need to watch is the SummerHouse season 8 reunion because that
Yeah.
just came out too.
Well, the SummerHouse reunion looks banging. I'm excited about that. Yeah.
God,
Not Carl
everything-
admitting that he was afraid of Lindsay.
Yeah.
Everything
Which I guess
looks
is
so
honest.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything looks so juicy. Even
it
like
does.
I feel like and this is like jumping to Vanderpump, but it goes in with like, I didn't have high expectations for this season of Vanderpump. And like, I feel like these producers, they just come out with like a little bit of a banger. And like, this reunion looks really good. And like, this season of Vanderpump was like a little boring.
First half.
But like this reunion, when they brought up that side by side of like them not seeing that footage and us watching them watch it live, was fucking gold.
That was excellent television. Yeah, no, the SummerHouse reunion looks awesome. And speaking of Vanderpump, let's finally obviously get to it. Reunion part 3. Like Natalie said, yeah, that side-by-side moment, excellent television. I hope they do more of that, like getting that authentic reaction, which is like kind of the point of reality TV in general, which is why like so many times you will hear stories like from Bachelor Nation about like, they said this or, they keep people in the dark on purpose to get the authentic reactions for people because they don't want people performing. They don't want people they don't want people reenacting what their original reaction to something was. They don't want to get the secondhand reaction after you've kind of tempered your emotions and things like that. And so it was fascinating to see all those reactions from the Vanderpump cast. Before we really get into the reunion, I am curious, what were some of the responses to the Joe commentary last week when I was defending one Tom Schwartz versus one Joe?
There were a lot of people that had your same opinion, but then there was also another large amount of people that said you were gaslighting us on the definition of gaslighting.
Okay.
So
The people saying I'm gaslighting you guys about the definition of gaslighting, they're kind of making my point, which is like, isn't that just a disagreement on the term gaslighting? And my frustration with the term gaslighting is people have traded out a disagreement or a fight, and just said, well, now that's gaslighting. Anytime you're in a fight or a disagreement with someone about how something happened or you have a different perspective of a situation, or you both remember the situation slightly different or one's from your POV, to the other person that now it's gaslighting. If your story doesn't line up exactly.
Well, so I did look up the definition of gaslighting. Merriam-Webster says it's a psychological manipulation of a person, usually over an extended period of time, that causes the victim to question the validity of their own thoughts, perception of reality, or memories, and typically leads to confusion, loss of confidence, and self-esteem.
So I think the key word there is manipulating, because I feel like, were you like maliciously manipulating us? Absolutely not.
Well, like
we were
also
just having
again
a discussion.
the intent of like was I intentionally trying to confuse you guys over a course of time.
But I do think that Tom Schwartz did that to Joe.
Right. I was
Did
saying,
what?
Agreed.
But if we're talking about intent, I don't think Tom had a malicious intent doing that.
I think he chose to be ignorant to his own intent, though. Like, I think he was doing it, and then he was just like, I'm just going to be ignorant to it.
Mhm.
Therefore, I'm like, I'm not doing it.
I think
agree.
Tom did some things, sure, to lead Joe on. But after watching all of this, for the people who are Team Joe here, like, I guess I'm honestly confused. Do they really just believe that she was this helpless person who just got used? Like, isn't her behavior
Listen,
off the show?
I think that absolutely before. Now that this show has aired, she was on the show, she's on the reunion, she's getting all this, a little bit of fame. She's starting to like act different, and she's getting on these lives, and she's having fun spilling tea, and people are mad. She's making headlines. She's all this stuff. I think before, when she was nobody and she was just like this girl that was living with Tom Schwartz, 100%.
100% what?
She was like naive and didn't like, he was like, oh, what we have is magical and we're on this whirlwind and love you and no. And why? Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't she think they're dating?
Like we always talk about, doing in boyfriend and girlfriend things doesn't, especially in 2024,
Sure.
doesn't mean you're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Sure, but that doesn't mean she doesn't have the right to think that.
Sure, but she could also be, she has demonstrated delusion post show.
Mm-hmm.
And do we think that all of a sudden she's a different person? What is more likely, that Joe went on a couple episodes of Vanderpump and overnight became a completely different person? Or she's the same person as she generally was. Obviously the show has impacted her, but the delusion and the kind of lies or maybe embellishment of stories is the same Joe then as she is now. She's on Raquel's podcast for the second time. And do we not judge Joe for associating herself with Raquel? I thought Ariana, who by the way last night was, I thought, flawless.
Yeah.
She had an answer, a great answer for everything.
Yeah, especially being put on the spot like that, having to watch.
And like, listen, Ariana, who chooses to be a reality TV star, you know, she's this like unique reality TV star who like, I really believe genuinely that Ariana like doesn't like people talking about her and doesn't like the spotlight, yet she is a reality TV star. And I think that's genuine. But like, she made an excellent point, and I really felt her pain when she was talking about how Raquel is like talking about her constantly, talking about the affair constantly, making up stories about Ariana constantly, monetizing her affair and the shit she did to Ariana. Not even bringing up the lawsuit and all the shit that like Raquel is doing. The reason I'm so critical of Raquel, especially now, because if you've been listening to this show for the past year, like I wanted to see Raquel turn a new leaf. I wanted her to learn from this. I wanted her to find that kind of growth and using this terrible situation as an opportunity to, you know, to change, because people can and do change all the time. It might be rare. And people also claim the desire to change way more often than people actually change, but people do change. And I think Raquel is mocking all of those people who actually like looked in the mirror, took accountability for their actions, repented their mistakes, done the actual work, and using, you know, like their mishaps and misfortunes and their ability to hurt others is a real like platform for change. And Raquel is mocking it. You know, she is doing all the things that she's doing every step of the way. She is just mocking it and like talking Joe on and asking Joe if she takes accountability for her actions. Meanwhile, she's never taken real accountability for what's happened with her and Ariana. And why are we letting Joe off the hook, who is so willingly willing to use Raquel to get her story out. Like why are we, to me that matters, that like consider the sources.
I don't think the argument is about Jo today. I think it is what Tom Schwartz said and made her feel while they were quote unquote together, not together in this. I think that's what the discussion is. It's not what Jo, because I think everyone can agree that what Jo has done since it has been delusional. It's been reckless. It's been crazy to watch. But I do think that her feeling like he was embarrassed because to go out with her or to be seen with her or to talk about her or whatever is valid. I do think that him saying, because he said it over and over on the reunion, like, what, listen, like, I'm not going to diminish like whatever it was that me and Jo had because like it was magical and I loved her and it was this and it was that.
But Tom is and again, it's a flaw of his. He is a people pleaser to a fault, and that is who he is. And he is that way with everyone.
Not an excuse.
Sure, but
Agreed, yeah.
where is Joe's responsibility in pursuing and aggressively going after someone who, by his own admission, wasn't in a good and healthy place himself on the heels of Scandival? Why do we look at someone like Tom and immediately assign guilt and blame and like he is supposed to know better and Joe's not supposed to know better at all?
Well, we don't know the conversations that were happening between them behind closed doors. And like, if she's saying that he was telling her that, he loved her
But she says a lot of things that we know not to maybe be true.
Yeah, but she said that in front of Schwartz and he didn't deny it.
I'm sure she was also choosing to be ignorant on her end. Like she probably saw red flags and chose to be like, ignore it. Hence why we got to the point we're at. But I also like think that, to Natalie's point, talking in retrospect of like Tom telling Jo that's not what it was, that's where it veers on like the gaslighting portion.
We literally watched, I don't know, a couple episodes ago, Tom say, we'll be married in 8 years. And she's like, yeah, in 8 years we'll be married. He's like, whoa, who said that? We literally watched that scene. We watched him tell her, give her validation, give her some hope of a relationship, her to repeat it and him be like, well, don't say that. Who said that?
Maybe this is what it is. It wasn't up to Lala to decide whether it was gaslighting. It was up to Jo. Because like Jo can decide whether what he was doing was malicious, maybe.
I don't think it's up to Jo either. I think it either is or it isn't.
Yeah.
Listen, I think the internet has decided that gaslighting is something new, and I'm just never going to win that argument with the people who have decided that gaslighting is just a new name for like a disagreement or like having a different point of view of a situation. But
also, I think people's issue, like the comments and stuff, it's like it's you, Nick, kind of invalidating Jo's feelings of like she was the one in that situation. She's saying she feels this way. So the irony of you turning to her and saying, no, you don't feel that way or you can't feel that way, even after like dealing with the Tom situation, which like examples of gaslighting include denying that an event took place. So like to Natalie's example, saying something then claiming you didn't, because that denial can then lead her to question things.
Have you never been in an argument, even with Danny, where he said you said something and you didn't remember saying it? And you're like, I never said that.
Yeah,
well, I
sure.
think the difference is
that doesn't negate the argument.
Back to back.
We're watching it back.
Play the scene. It was literally like
I understand that. I mean, Bravo is always calling out people who are like, I never said that. And I you think about all the Bravo, like in this situation, like why would someone go on TV and deny saying something that is literally recorded? Do you think it's because they're gaslighting or they just don't remember? Like,
Can we find that scene? I'd like for Nick to watch
I mean,
it
I think that what he did in the past, like, yeah, maybe he wasn't in a good place. Maybe he didn't know how to navigate his emotions. He didn't know how to let her down easy. He didn't know whatever. But I think his actions right now and what he's done since is gaslighting. Like him making her feel like all of that was just nothing when it meant like we all watch their banter.
So I don't know. I just I think Jo's entitled to feel however she wants, but I do think you can be delusional, and I think you can choose to ignore what people say. You can cherry pick what people say. People lead themselves on all the time, and just because someone says they feel led on doesn't make immediately the other person.
I'd like for you to watch the scene again and then get your.
I believe that
it's.
I mean, I think I have it if you want to.
Yeah, let's just play it real quick.
No, okay, but that's a perfect example. Here he is like making a point about like he just wants to be cool with her. I'm not saying he's I'm not saying Swartz is without fault, but I just think we know that Jo pursued Tom. She literally reached out to Katie. We've heard Katie's version of this story. She inserted herself into Tom's life. I just, again, I'm not saying Tom couldn't have been a better communicator. I think Tom is a people pleaser to a literal fault. I think he gets himself in these situations, but I think Jo is as guilty as him, and I think she has a lot of accountability to take that she's not taking. And I also think she's guilty by association with associating herself with Raquel.
Okay, I agree to disagree. I will also say I found Lala. I understand her frustration at the end of this reunion. I understand her feeling like she has had all of these conversations with Sheena, and I also understand Katie's side, but she's had these conversations with Sheena, she's had them with Katie, she's had them with whoever else. And then for them to be asked a question and act completely different on camera or in front of Ariana, like the whole, do you feel like Tom Sandoval has showed up for you more than Ariana has? And she's like, well, no. And Lala being like, okay, like I'm done. You've literally told me like over and over again that you do feel that way. And now that we're here, now that you're in front of Ariana, now that the cameras are rolling, you're like gonna act different. And like, I understand that frustration. I also understand Katie being like, I was over it. Like I moved on. So like for me to just like rehash something that I'm over just for the cameras is fucking stupid.
Yeah. And I feel like Sheena and Katie are different in that situation because Katie has always been consistent. And Katie has always been someone throughout the years on the show as someone who loyalty matters to Katie. She even says she's not going to be fake and phony. She's not going to pretend to like you like other people in the cast will. And she can take a stand. Where Sheena, you know what? I thought Sheena had an amazing moment at the very end where she acknowledged to Lala, like, hey, I want to acknowledge that I said that, and I'm sorry if I'm not backing you up here. And I love that Sheena acknowledged her fear of like being worried what people are going to say.
Yeah.
That, and Lala doesn't share in that fear. And I thought that was a very vulnerable moment from Sheena, where I guess I'm lost with the Lala. What I find most fascinating, because I think the biggest conversation about the finale was, is this the end? And I think a lot of people are discussing, is this the actual end of Vanderpump? I don't think so. I don't think that's the plan at all. But what I think is fascinating about the reunion part 3, for all the commentary about Lala and accusations towards Ariana about not being authentic, and Lala's big thing was like, hey, this show matters to me. I don't want this to be the end. You may not need this show because of all these opportunities coming her way, but I still need this show. And I don't want this to go to way, and you not doing your job is affecting all of us, which is basically Lala's main point, which on its face, it makes sense what Lala's saying. But what now seems to be the case is that there seems to be a real rift between Lala, Katie, and Ariana. Like the friendship, Lala's like, I'm fucking done with these people. I don't even care. And if the show doesn't go on, it feels like more because now instead of like Ariana just not being willing to film with Sandoval, now it's like Lala and Katie and Ariana are all just like, there's such a rift in that relationship that like, what can they actually do as a show? And it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy of Lala to create a bigger divide in the group because Ariana, I thought everything Ariana said yesterday, what makes Ariana so powerful, and I think so likable to the audience, which I think even the producers and the rest of the cast underestimated, it's her willingness to calmly enforce a boundary. And we say that all the time on the show. Like when you enforce a boundary, when you're talking to a guy or whatever, just be calm. Don't be reactive. Don't make it seem like you're upset about it. Just, hey man, it just is what it is. I don't need you to agree with it. Every step of the way, Sheena made a really good point, whatever it was. I said to Natalie, that's a fair point. I forgot what it was about like not being available. And Ariana said to Sheena, those are valid points. Ariana's just like, listen, I'm not over it. I'm not over it yet. Whether you think I should or shouldn't be over it, I don't want to see him. I don't think I can see him. It's affecting my mental health. I'm not going to do this. I understand that you want me to for the show, but I'm just not going to do it. And she's always been calm and consistent. And that's really hard to do. It's really hard for people to enforce boundaries, period. And enforce them with just a calmness. And it's a really intimidating thing for people to do. you know, and I think Ariana demonstrating that calmness while still enforcing the boundary, I think is intimidating for the Lalas and the Sheenas of the world, because I don't think they're capable of doing that. And I just think it's kind of ironic.
Like she was drawing the authenticity as silence, like you're saying.
Yeah, she was doubling down on what she did at the end of the show. And she was like, if I were to sit down and have a conversation with Tom, that would not have been my authentic response. I would have been forcing it to sit down with him. And I'm always going to be authentic, and I'm always going to do what I feel is the authentic thing to do. And that was walking away. And then what was interesting is that Lisa Vanderpump stood up for Ariana in that moment.
I think the most honest thing Lala actually said wasn't what she said with the rest of the cast. It's what she said at the very end that was captured kind of quote unquote off camera, when Lala was like, this isn't fucking fair. And she was referencing what Lisa said, which is basically like, no one had my back the way they have Ariana's back. And she was just saying it's not fair how people treated me after the Randall thing versus how people are treating Ariana. And I think that is the most honest thing Lala actually ever said. And the truth is, it's not. She's right. It's not fair. Life isn't fucking fair.
That's the crux of like how she's acted this whole season and how she's acted on these reunions, is that she's just angry that like she didn't get the same treatment that Ariana's getting. And I think that's actually where her anger is coming from.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's the iconic line that's been in every trailer of I've never seen someone get cheated on and become God.
And suddenly become God, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also curious to know what everybody thought about the way that they played the video at the end, because I thought that as a viewer, it was very interesting to watch. However, I think it was like hard to watch also because I felt like it was kind of just like mean to Ariana. Like I feel like they wanted to have that final moment from her, and that this was their way of getting it.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame the show as much, because I really think, knowing some of the producers, I really think they're just going to show what the cast is talking about, you know, and the cast was willing to go fourth wall, you know, it's like the producers, it's a subtlety. Like they're always trying to drive conversations. So yeah, I'm sure they were involved being like, hey, we want Ariana to talk to Tom. And I'm sure like they were talking to cast to play along. And I think they are involved there. I don't think the show was like going after Ariana. I think they were willing to let Tom have a redemption arc if there was a redemption arc to have. I think they wanted to suss that out. It never really landed. Like again, like looking at Lala, her whole big thing about this divide between Katie and Ariana is like in the spirit of unconditional honesty, you know, like honesty to a fault. Like everything that runs through your thoughts needs to be on camera and needs to be documented. And that's just like not even realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she's expecting, because one day Katie said something to her about a frustration and then if she goes to Ariana and been like, hey, you know, this happened. They don't film this show 365. You know what I'm saying? It's not a Truman Show documentary about every moment in their life. And Lala is acting as if it is. And she is accusing Katie and Ariana of being inauthentic because they're not willing to say everything they've ever said on camera.
Or to rehash it. Like emotions and conversations that they had months prior. And it's like, yeah, I've had a conversation with a friend about something I was angry about 3 months ago, and then 3 months pass, and I'm like, what? Like, you want me to bring this up and get angry about it again? Like, I don't care
I think you just
anymore.
solved it, yeah. That is why Lala's frustrated. I also think it's interesting where Lisa Vanderpump, they brought up her leaving Beverly Hills and how she said showing up to the reunion means that you, like, with the intentions of reuniting, and, like, she walked away from filming the season prior to that. So I think in context of, like, the Ariana situation, like, she never walked away. She showed up to the reunion, and like her version of being authentic is like showing, like being there, but like it's not necessarily saying something. But then that makes me think like, well, who's going to show up next season? Like, was this the intentions of reuniting? Because Lala said she was okay knowing her friendship was in the ER with Katie and Ariana. So like, she didn't really have an intention on reuniting. She had the intention on like calling out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a clear line in the sand now.
But that's the thing. It's just like, if this were to be the end of the show, I don't think it would be because Ariana won't talk to Tom.
No.
I think there's a world where Ariana just doesn't come back. And this show has survived losing Jax Taylor, Stassi Schroeder, like
Kristen Doty.
Reels, like those three people, they were the show when it started. You know, Tom Sandoval wasn't the main character. Ariana wasn't even on the show when it started. Lala didn't come on to season 4.
Wasn't on the show.
Swartz wasn't on the show. James Kennedy wasn't on the show. They've lost a lot of people. The show has gone on. It's adjusted. So the fact that they're acting like it might be the end of the show because Ariana might be. Again, I think, Lala and Sheena were the best TV of the season. I don't think Ariana was the best TV. Ariana's never been the best TV. So I don't know why they're it's like the self-fulfilling prophecy of acting like, why is Lala losing her shit about this? And again, like I said, I think the most honest thing she said when she finally kind of got not caught on camera because she knew the cameras were there, talking about how it's not fair.
I think she's scared.
Yeah, and I agree with her. It's not fair.
Because they also said last season that they weren't sure that there was going to be another season. It doesn't help creating the vibe that this is the last season, considering that the ending of the finale was like a montage of like first scenes and like ending scenes. And now Bravo is posting like their first season and then their like this recent season. So like there's this general vibe that the show is ending, and I'm sure that's feeling like Lala's like, this is my paycheck. Yeah,
but Lala's going to be just fine, right? 'Cause she's a TV star, and because she has her willingness to kind of say anything, they're going to find a home for Lala Kent. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is a willing reality TV star, whether it's The Valley or as a housewife. Bravo is going to find a spot for Lala if it's not on Vanderpump. I just don't think this show's done. I think they're going to take a break. They're going to focus on The Valley. They're going to record The Valley. Ariana's going to do her thing. And I think they're going to hope that cooler heads prevail and they'll be able to bring the cast out, because right now tensions are so high. You got Lala, saying things that are really hurting Ariana and Katie. She doesn't want to be friends with these people, all in the spirit of something that is not even realistic. And yeah, I also, it just doesn't even make sense. Why would they cancel this show? It's performing too well.
I just think that the strategy to save the show was backwards. I think that the strategy on everyone's part, including Lala, Bravo, everyone, was to go Sandoval redemption arc, where they should have gone women sticking together, because now the divide between Lala and Sheena versus Katie and Ariana, I think, is a way harder hurdle to overcome than Ariana and Tom.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy.
And I think that's where it's like, now it does have me wondering, like, is this the end?
I mean, listen, I think anything's possible. I think you're right. I think now it's possible it is the end, solely based off of what Lala did at the reunion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the Tom Ariana thing is an easy thing to film around.
It's a nothing thing.
I think it would be a good end. Like, I think it's one of those, if they chose to end the show, it's like you end it at a high versus like pushing these like storylines further than they should have been. The whole like Sandoval Ariana situation, like she's drawing that boundary. Lala's trying to bring up stuff from the past, but clearly like these personalities are trying to move on, or like they're outgrowing what's come before.
Yeah, her way of arguing is very similar to Sandoval's, where it's like she just keeps bringing things up that other people have done in the past to back her argument. And that's never going to work.
But I also just think like it would be a beautiful thing to end the show where it is now than to just like keep ruining these friendships that could potentially actually be like real relationships.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think they are real. I don't think there are real friendships. Yeah. I don't think Katie is a real friend to Ariana. I really think Sheena, like, I think she's a real friend to Ariana, but I do think she is a better friend. I think she's better friends with Tom. I think she just has more in common. And I think Ariana is one of those people who admittedly disconnects and is a little isolated. And there's like, Sheena and Ariana's friendship is never going to be what Sheena really wants it to be, Well, and I think it can be that with Tom.
Yeah. I mean, Lala kind of said this at the end too. I don't remember if it was on the stage or when they were changing in the back, but she basically said like, yeah, I haven't talked to Ariana, like, and I don't really care about my friendship with Katie. That was the essence. Those weren't the exact words, but like that was the essence of what she was saying. So it's like, yeah, to your point, like that's the part that I feel like is going to be the hardest like hurdle to overcome, is like now they've kind of lifted the curtain, they've broken the fourth wall, and like we're seeing that they're not none of them are in a good place. So like, how do we move forward from here? But like, I honestly feel like this is a weird spot to leave it on, like
I do too.
Yeah. Like they're just going to end the show here on like the most sour note possible.
Yeah. Kind of this incomplete thing where most of the cast that's the thing. Most of the cast wants to keep going.
Right.
Sandoval, Swartz, Lala, James Kennedy, Allie would be down. Brock's not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, certainly Joe's available if they want, It's just really Ariana.
I just think the choice isn't to keep subjecting like this like toxic narrative of like Ariana and Katie where like everybody's just screaming. Like I feel like the only choice forward, and I think that's why it's good they're pausing, is like a positive, like actual relationships, not everybody's breaking up and fighting with each other.
They need a reset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Schwartz, I don't know where he said it, but in the news recently kind of suggested that Lala talking so much about the job of the show diminishes its authenticity. Like, we know it's a show, we know they have a job, but when you're only doing it for the job, then it becomes inauthentic. Again, to backing up Ariana's point, it's like the most authentic thing for her to do was to not give in to a boundary and protecting her mental health and not submit herself to what might feel like a devastating conversation that she's not ready to have for someone that in her heart is only having it for their own benefit.
Right. Yeah.
And she was right. Tom did show his true colors by immediately being like, well,
That was good for me.
It was good for me, you know? And it's just like everything Ariana said made so much sense. And she was always calm and poised. Again, that's why I think people are always going to have her back, because of how she is setting these boundaries, and she's in her consistency, in her authenticity. And it's just like such an ironic thing that if this show does end, it will be because of how Lala handled herself at the end and not of the boundary that Ariana refused not to back down on.
Yeah, exactly. I think their strategy was off.
So like basically Lala said multiple times at this reunion that her reason for saying things wasn't because she felt it, but because it's the job, you know? And I don't know if she meant it that way, but that's how it kind of came across.
No, it is. She's like outing Katie and like trying to like stir the pot and cause all this drama and like have everybody butting heads and fighting and arguing for the sake of the drama of the show.
Back to Natalie's point, which by the way, she had to go and take care of her baby River, but like I get where Lala, listen, it would be very frustrating if Lala is constantly hearing people say things behind, to her face, and then the next day filming, they're changing their story. But I don't think that was what's been going on with Katie. If that's what's going on with Sheena, maybe. But I really think it is more the subtlety of, like, their entire lives aren't on this show. It's not a 365-day recorded show. Feelings do change. Feelings evolve. And wanting to have people recreate conversations of feelings they had 3 months ago, it also isn't the most authentic way of doing this show.
Yeah. I'm not on Lala's side in this at all, but I see why this was infuriating for her to sit through, because
Totally.
she was just trying, and nothing was giving. And yeah, I mean, I do agree with one point that she had where she was like, I tried to get up and walk away, because she tried to stand up and leave the reunion at one point because she was feeling uncomfortable and frustrated and overwhelmed. She's like, I'm literally carrying a child, I'm pregnant, and I'm trying to remove myself from a situation that was frustrating me, but I'm not allowed because Lisa told her, like, sit down.
See, but I don't know. I think that's her being dramatic. Like, I get where she's coming from, but where she's coming from, again, has more to do with her feeling that this isn't fair.
Yeah.
And
100%.
has less to do with authenticity and honesty.
I think she's trying to drive home a point that nobody's understanding.
Yeah. And they're just also not the same situations.
No.
They're just not. And yes, Ariana is a more likable, given her everything about the situation, she is a more likable
personality.
Yeah. Randall also
not
wasn't
only
on the
that,
show.
but like a likable victim and of fidelity.
They're just entirely different situations.
Yeah.
Like, you can't compare, and that's what's frustrating me. It's like Lala has this thing where it's like, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair, but it's also like, it's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
These are two different things. So
anyways, I don't think it's over. I think they're going to pause. I think they're going to come back. I think they're going to record the Valley. It's the same production company. And I think they're going to focus on that. And I think cooler heads will prevail. I don't know if Ariana will be back. I just don't, like, they're not going to go out on a high note. This isn't prestige television. You know what I'm saying? And this isn't like, oh, I wish they didn't make the 5th season of Dexter because it kind of ruined the memory of it. I
feel like they're wrapping it up in bows that would like make sense for them to just end it. Like Bravo posting the post that they did before and afters, and like the finale, the last scene is like a montage of from the beginning to the end.
right.
Yeah, maybe.
So I think it's a beautiful way to end it.
I think they're
if they choose
prepared
to.
for it to be the end.
Yeah.
Like for any Breaking Bad fan out there, there was a season 5, but season 4 ended in a way that like they weren't sure because they didn't have the contracts and they weren't signed up for a 5th season. That they made season 4 could have been the end. It wasn't supposed to be the end, but they prepared for it to be the end, and it ended up not being the end.
Oh,
but like,
I didn't know
yeah.
that. Was Prison Break the same?
I don't know. I'm not a Prison Break fan,
Oh.
but for all the Breaking Bad fans, like season 4 was made to possibly have it be the end if they didn't figure out how to make a 5th season happen. And I think that's what they're doing here with Vanderpump. I think they're prepared for it to be the end,
Yeah.
but I don't think they want it to be the end. And I deep down think they're going to figure it out and make it work. All right. Well, lots to discuss. Well, I'm sure you'll share your thoughts in the comments. It's time for Emma Hernan. And one more time, Allison Martin, we love you.
We love you, Allie.
We love you.
Hey, thanks.
Wayfair, they got it all. Wayfair has definitely got you ready to make sure that you're going to go to the Wayborhood.
Wayfair is the go-to destination for everything home, no matter what your style is or your budget is. They have something for everyone. A huge selection of home goods ranging from appliances to area rugs to beds to wall art, everything you need for your living room, outdoor spaces, bedroom, and more.
Even our studio has been outfitted by Wayfair. We got our curtains. We got so many furniture items from Wayfair. It was a really great, it was a must-have for us when we are designing out our studio.
Those tables right next to you are Wayfair. And my favorite thing about Wayfair is how quickly they ship. Because I was like, we have a studio we need to build. And then in a matter of like a couple days, they were ready and at our doorstep.
It was great. And very easy for any type of returns or anything like that. Very easy and convenient to shop with Wayfair. Every style is welcome in the Wayborhood. Visit wayfair.com or get the Wayfair mobile app. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Rocket Money. Rocket Money is the personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and have saved them a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving the average member up to $740 a year just by canceling apps they're not using. I myself, I have told you guys before, have saved over $1,000 using Rocket Money simply by having them identify the apps I am no longer using. In addition to that, Rocket Money will even try to negotiate and lower your bills for you up to 20%. All you have to do is to submit a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. They will even deal with customer service. It's an absolute no-brainer to download Rocket Money today. You're wasting money by not downloading it. There is zero chance you do not have a few apps on your phone that you're not using. Let Rocket Money identify them for you and eliminate them for you, saving you time and, most importantly, money. Stop wasting money on things you do not use. Cancel unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/VIALL. That's rocketmoney.com/VIALL. rocketmoney.com/VIALL. Emma.
Hello.
Welcome.
Oh, okay.
Turn it.
Okay.
No, that's good, yeah.
And then if I don't want you to hear something, I'll just push it away, right?
Wait, what is that trick on reality TV?
Yeah.
Do you ever do that on the show?
Oh my God, we are always so nervous because like when we're mic'd up, they will totally use things that we're saying privately in the bathroom or like we try to whisper, but like, yes, anything you say when you're mic'd can be used against you. And
You're
they can, yeah.
mic'd in the bathroom?
Oh yeah, we're always mic'd. We have no privacy.
When you say used against you, do you feel like there's a generally positive relationship with producers, or is it like frenemies?
It's like frenemies.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I have a pretty good relationship with them. I'm very like happy-go-lucky. Like I feel like everyone has their different personalities on the cast. I definitely feel like I'm more like happy, bubbly, goofy, kind of crazy. Like I'll say some wild things and like out there things. So I give them what they need certain times, but like I'm not going to be the person that, you know, is getting drunk on set. Like I'm not even a big drinker and stuff like that. So they would prefer that. But yeah, no, it's definitely like a little bit of a frenemy situation.
Is there anyone who's like a secretly big drinker?
I mean, like all the girls like to have fun and stuff like that. We do have fun.
Yeah, I see the
Yeah.
cast out. I've never ran into a Selling Sunset cast where there's like, you know,
No.
which I can't say about other reality TV stars.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
usually you run
No.
into a few people and you're like, that person's fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. No, me and Chriselle save our fun nights out for Cabo.
Cabo, you like going to Cabo?
We love Cabo.
What
Yeah.
is that your favorite Mexican city?
I think
I've only been
so,
to
yeah.
Cabo once.
Oh, I love it. Have you been?
No, I've never been.
You have to go.
What?
I will give you all of the best
Sell me
spots.
on Cabo. I generally like the
East Coast, the
East side?
Tulum, Cancun.
I've never been to Tulum, the Cancun side, the
Oh,
like
no,
Riviera
no.
Maya.
Oh my God, you
What?
haven't experienced
Better-
Cabo. It's just everything's better. Oh my God, Cancun. What?
Why? No, it's because I like the
Oh
the
my
water.
God, I'm gonna book
It's-
you guys a trip to Cabo. Jeez, I'm gonna take next time I go to Cabo. I'm
Just
taking
take
you.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
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 Thank you.
please
Yeah.
invite us. I
please. will.
they have beautiful beaches on that side of
Yeah.
Mexico.
It's just like I don't know. It's romantic in Cabo. The Food is next level. I don't know. Cabo is definitely a clear win over Cancun.
Okay.
And a short flight, right?
Super easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can just like pop down.
Do you have real estate in Cabo?
Well, we have our agency down there.
Oh.
Yep.
Yes. So it's like a work trip. Wink,
Okay.
wink.
Yeah.
It's a work trip.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
what does one do in Cabo? I was there for a bachelor party, and it just was like it felt like I was in Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would recommend it for a bachelor or bachelorette. I feel like it's more of like a romantic place, but
It's
like
romantic.
I think it's romantic.
What do you and Chriselle do together?
What's
going on with you?
No, but like the places that we go, like there's actually really, really good crowds. So like Chileno Bay, it's like super private. Yeah, like everyone, Las Ventanas, my favorite hotel there. El Dorado, and Chileno Bay are same Discovery properties. Love going
Wait, didn't
there.
we stay at the?
We stayed at Dorado Beach, the Ritz-Carlton on Dorado Beach in
wait.
Puerto Rico.
I have been there too.
Yeah,
Everyone
that's where
goes
we
down
just
there for the
spent our honeymoon.
taxes. Yep. You'll meet some people that are about to go public with their company there.
Yeah, no, there was definitely a lot
Yeah.
of like we seem to be staying on a property where like rich people also stayed at.
Yeah, so like
we felt that we are around rich people.
yes,
Because we were like, how much is fucking breakfast? Jesus fucking Christ.
You felt the energy.
Yeah.
The houses, the real estate there is pretty pretty crazy too. Like the houses there, like 30-40 million at Dorado.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
didn't
Well, because everyone's saving the taxes.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people that are, about to go public with their companies, or, they made a lot of really fast money. Like a lot of the TikTok people are moving there.
The crypto.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's a huge crypto. Actually, it's funny enough. I went down there for a vacation with my family, flew back on a plane with some crypto people, and ended up like talking about crypto, made some serious crypto money. So
Oh my
Okay.
God.
You made
yeah,
money.
yeah.
They were just like,
different
here, let me
tips,
do
and, like,
this
we're-
for you.
yeah. Like different tips and talking about it, and I was investing in crypto anyways.
Do you have any crypto tips? for the
I
audience?
mean,
For
I
me,
wouldn't even.
really.
I would not tell anyone to do it now. But I mean, it's actually up right now. I don't know if you checked.
I have
Yeah.
checked.
I don't. It's not that. I don't think it's the best time to invest right now.
I'm just.
But like, you
I
have to
have
get
a-
in at the beginning. So I got in at like the very beginning, and there wasn't a lot of females doing it. So when I was talking about it with them, they were impressed that I had, I knew about the coins that they did, and not just like Bitcoin. I knew about like the coins that like not everyone knew about. So they
Sure.
were like, "Oh, okay." So like we're actually buying on the plane on the way over.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I
That's the way to
didn't.
do it.
I sold an NFT once.
Ooh, what?
There you go.
It was
It was like a monkey with, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I sold it for like $70,000.
Oh, look
Whoa.
at you.
and then
That's fire.
and then right after I sold it, like it crypto crashed.
Oh,
So,
that's amazing.
bye. Back up though. No, I invested. I made a mistake. Yeah, in 2016 I invested,
Oh,
and I was going to invest a lot more, and I chickened out.
I know. Usually people tend to do that. Had
And,
a lot of stories. You hear a lot of those crazy stories.
and it still worked out, but
Yeah.
I have enough in crypto where if it becomes a thing, I'm in.
Yeah,
the,
you'll
I'm
feel
in the
good
club.
about it.
I'm in the club.
Exactly.
But I'm prepared to lose everything. That's
Yeah, exactly. Same. It's like I have some. If it goes up, wonderful. If it doesn't, I'll sleep okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good to know. Yeah. I'm glad we got our crypto discussion.
Yeah, exactly. We got our crypto out of the way.
What else is new? What have you been up to?
Just working, traveling. I was just in London with Chriselle and G. G had a show over there.
Oh, love them.
And then I'm wrapped filming, so I've just been enjoying a little vacation life. I didn't vacation for a bit. I was busy, so I just was in the Bahamas. I was in Cabo before that, so I'm kind of just like enjoying life right now.
How is the real estate market? Nally and I are, peeking our head up, kind of looking around,
Okay.
seeing what.
I would go back down for a second.
Tell that to Natalie.
No, I mean, I would say personally, like everyone's going to have their different opinion, and the real estate market in general is not the best right now. However, I always say if you can get in at any point in real estate, you're never really going to regret it. I think that it's something it's always going to be a solid investment, and the sooner that you get in, the better. So like interest rates are really high right now, but the good thing with that is you can refinance and you can get a really good property right now that maybe is sitting, or you can get a better deal and things like that. So
we are noticing properties sitting for longer.
yeah, and so that
Mhm.
you can get a deal with that. I mean, I would always say to just get in as soon as possible. To be honest with you, I think it's a great investment. I also I bought really young, and I bought properties that I wasn't even ready to move into. But what I did was I had people then rent my house out. They're paying my mortgage. And then when I'm ready to move into it, I'm ready to move into it, which is what I ended up doing. But so I always recommend to buy real estate if you can. Yes.
She always recommends.
Yeah, I got your back. I got
Buy
your
the real
back.
estate.
Well, we've bought real estate. We have real estate. Yeah. Good on the just own real estate
Oh,
department.
okay. So you
yeah.
have some, but you just want,
We just have zero storage in our current house,
okay.
and having
Yeah,
a baby.
our baby's super
Yes.
inconvenient.
Yeah.
She's
there is just
There's
shit
a lot of
everywhere.
diapers. Yeah.
There's just boxes and shit absolutely everywhere. There's not a coat closet. There's not a linen closet. There's nothing. And so we just need a little bit more space, but we want to stay in the valley and kind of look maybe like Encino.
You should buy
area.
tomorrow.
You should buy
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
my God.
Yeah, I told you I have your back. Buy tomorrow. Get in escrow.
Okay.
I'll help you with whatever you need.
Can you tell me more about this millionaire tax?
Oh my goodness, it's kind of a nightmare.
Right.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
But does it affect it doesn't it affect the seller, not the buyer, more? Or is that true?
Yeah.
Am I misinformed?
Well, no. That is very true. So it does affect the seller more because the seller's paying. However, if you're going to buy a property, you're eventually going to have to deal with the same thing. So
Correct,
it's something
yeah.
that you need to consider, especially if you're going to go into a property, fix it up, and then sell it. So like a lot of people are
Oh.
deciding, okay, they're not going to do it in California anymore, in places where, the mansion tax is in place because
What's a mansion tax? What did I say? The millionaire tax?
Millionaire taxes.
I knew
That's
what you
you're
meant.
talking
It's
about.
basically the same thing. But yeah, so anything over 5 million, then anything over 10. And it plays a huge role in.
Oh, so there's one over. I didn't know about the 5. I didn't know about the 10.
Oh,
Not that
yeah.
I'm making in the market for.
Yeah. So yeah, it's over 5 million and then over 10 million as well. So, it's super inconvenient for anyone that's looking to buy, sell, and then obviously developers. It's affecting like a lot of people. And then also too, people don't think about, okay, everyone's thinking about it from a perspective like, okay, well, they can afford it because they're paying this for a house. But actually, people are now, like, even on my street, when I drive by, all construction has stopped because the numbers don't make sense anymore. So now all the construction workers are losing jobs. And that's what people don't think about. They just think about it as a millionaire tax and things like that. But it affects so many people.
Well, it's also like in California. I know it's called the mansion tax, but like that same house in like Nantucket. Well, not maybe Nantucket's so bad.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty expensive.
Oh my God.
I
I know what you're going to say, though.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's
Oh
say it's just a house.
Yes. It's literally a fraction of the
Yeah.
price.
It's like a $400,000 house in Milwaukee.
Exactly.
Now it's like a part of a mansion tax in LA.
Exactly.
Um,
So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that's.
Are they trying?
They've
who's
been
they
trying.
to fight-
They've
who-
been trying.
to fight
Jason would like to go in there with a knife himself, but they've been trying. Who knows if it will get overturned or not? It hasn't thus far. So, fingers crossed it does for the real estate industry in general.
I feel like there's always rumors that the market's going to crash and all of a sudden prices for housing is going to regulate. Do you think that that's actually true? Because I feel like I hear that yearly.
I feel like you just hear that.
You hear
all the
that? Like,
time. Yeah.
haven't we've been
when
like
have we
supposed to have a
not
recession?
heard that?
Yeah.
Right? When-
Like a recession has been
Yeah.
happening for 5 years,
Forever.
Exactly, right? People say that all the time.
and then
I
we
mean-
go to a hotel and it's like booked out, and it's
Yeah.
just like, how is it people affording this? I
Yeah,
thought there was
exactly.
a
What's
recession.
happening?
They're like, it's going to be another 2008 housing crisis. And I'm like, when?
Yeah, exactly. When? Can you please give me the exact date on that? Well, I think interest rates are up right now. So I think that is probably just certain buyers that are going to buy and stuff like that. That does play a role. But like I said, if you can get in, you can always refinance.
So, question now, we've been looking a lot of like new houses, and I think
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people like. I love the idea of finding a fixer upper,
Oh, yeah.
but
Same.
it seems like a lot of work. I love the idea, but I don't even know I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. So
it's like, so how would, do you have any advice for people?
I love properties myself, Jason. So I invest in properties. I buy properties all the time. If you can buy a property that you can add value to, that is the smartest thing to do. When you buy a property that's done, it's convenient. So quality of life play, that's obviously the way to go.
We don't care about the quality of our life.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
then fine.
Speak for your fucking self.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding.
I would love to move into a house that is brand new that no one has sat on the toilet.
Yeah, that's kind
Can't you
of
just get a new toilet?
Well, yeah, sure.
you're gonna make more money like 90% of the time. There's rare cases where like you don't know what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
but you'll make more money when you can add value to a property. However, like quality of life, I don't know. I'm at a point where I'm like, quality of life is like, I'm taking my vacations. I'm popping around to different islands. So like quality
It's
of life.
important to you right now.
I'm gonna go with you right now on
Thank
that. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
But I do think like investment wise, if you can add value to a property, like you should always do
How's the love life?
it. Good.
You
We're
like-
going right in.
You choked
We're
for a
off.
second.
Yeah. No,
You're-
it's good. I
Nope.
started dating. I hadn't dated for a really long time.
What was the reason for the
Not dating?
Yeah, the not dating.
I think I was scarred from my last relationship.
What happened?
I was engaged.
Yeah,
It was a nightmare.
failed engagements.
Haven't you heard?
Yeah. I haven't heard. Yeah.
No. I was engaged for a hot second,
Okay.
and since then I hadn't actually been in a relationship with anyone else. So that was 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Is
6 years ago.
How long was the
The
engagement
ex
for?
from the storyline
Yes, the ex
with
with it.
Christine.
Yeah.
I'm not
that
familiar
one.
with that story.
Oh God.
Listen, Emma, we believe in learning. I've had a couple failed engagements,
Oh, okay, yes. So like we can connect on that.
Who
And it worked
cares?
out. And it
And
worked out.
worked
Yes,
out,
exactly. I
and,
love her.
Yeah.
and yeah, we learned from our trials and tribulations.
This
Like
is
our
true.
hard times from our past are our best stories for the present.
Yes, exactly. A breakdown leads to a breakthrough.
There you
I always
go.
say that. There we
Absolutely.
So tell us more about this failed engagement.
go. Okay, well, I was in a 10-year relationship with my high school sweetheart.
Oh shit. Okay.
A while. And then I met.
Was that hard to get out of? Like my first
Yeah.
relationship, I met her right after high school.
Yeah.
Like literally right after. And then 8 years later, we were just ruining each other's lives with our
Yeah.
toxicity.
Exactly. I think it's just hard for me. I love comfortable. Like I love being. He was very close to my family.
Sure.
Things like that.
Well, your
so-
first love. It's
Yeah.
it's a bugaboo.
Yeah, like I have nothing bad to say about him, but I think like, I moved out here. We had different dreams. He stayed in my little hometown and I came out here.
Okay.
So yeah. And then I met my ex that I was engaged to right away, like within the week of breaking up. So
Oh.
it was kind of a rebound that went sour. It was like a rebound that went off, bounced off the basket, smacked somebody in the face.
What was your reason for ending the engagement?
Oh, yeah, he was he just wasn't the best.
Okay.
Well, yeah, he was not.
He was messy.
He was messy. He
Yeah.
was really messy, and I didn't feel like being. Yeah,
What did you
That's
learn
weird.
most about that relationship?
definitely just follow my heart, but also use some brain cells in the process of that. I don't know. So for me, even though he wasn't the best to me, and I ended the engagement, I have no regrets. Like I don't regret the
Yeah.
relationship. I learned. I feel like I became a woman when I was dating him because we were dating for quite some time. And I feel like it was one of those things where if you don't go through that, then like you don't appreciate the next relationship that you're in. So, and I also am not the type of person to get jaded. I am still a hopeless romantic. I want that fairy tale ending. And I'm not going to let some guy that had his issues affect that.
For sure. What would your be ideal way of you're dating, you're back out there. What would be your ideal meet cute?
Well, ideal would probably be like out and about, but I have, nowadays everyone just slides in your DMs.
Sure.
know?
Do you, as a woman in 2024, an attractive woman, you're tall and and by tall, and it's just like tall people can be intimidating.
Mhm.
Do you want to be approached by men in public or like a stranger, or because a lot of women nowadays they don't like if I don't know you, don't fucking talk to me. I don't
Yeah,
like especially like in New York, you hear it's just a lot of there's a lot of shit going on in New York where it's just like for your own safety, like don't talk to people you don't know.
Oh, I love the vetting process.
Yeah.
I need a friend of a friend that has a background check that's like, nope, they dated this person and they love their family, they're a good person.
Yeah.
Like,
Same.
But some people are old school. They still want to be hit on in public.
Yeah.
like I dropped my papers and you picked them up for me.
Right? Like
You remember
something
back in the day where
super
you could,
romantic.
people like actually flirted?
Yeah. I mean,
And-
I'm a flirt. So, I do like that interaction. Everyone thinks I'm flirting with them though. So it can be misconstrued for sure. But like, I'm just very friendly. I love talking to people. I love being social. I always have. So
Okay.
when I'm out and about, I'm going out and about because I want to talk to people. It doesn't have to be romantic all the time, but like even I love meeting women. I love talking to people and being social and being bubbly and stuff like that. So yeah, but I feel like a lot of guys actually are intimidated to come up to me for sure.
Yeah.
Would you ever respond to a DM?
Oh,
I
she's
definitely
responded.
have. I mean, I've definitely responded. Not all the time.
What are you looking for? Is it just more? I mean, like, I mean, people ask me like, "What was it about Natalie that made you respond?" I'm like, her photos.
Started with the photos.
I mean, like it's Instagram.
Be honest.
You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a visual app. You know, it
Yeah.
wasn't like
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like you had like her full background
No,
bio.
it was
No,
like-
no.
it's worth the risk. You know, That's-
It's worth. Yeah,
that's-
exactly.
like this photo is worth the risk.
Yeah. This photo is definitely worth the
Yeah.
risk. Yeah. Like for me, I think it's really important to be family oriented. You're not going to tell that from a DM. I do
Yeah, like
understand
what does that?
Yeah,
what does that mean?
But like if you can see some, well, okay, so like my last relationship, one of the biggest reasons that I ended it, we had different family values. I'm super family oriented, love my family. I'm a hard worker. Like I just need someone to align with that. I need someone to want kids like I do. I want someone that, isn't going to be intimidated by my success.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
How do you vet that out?
I mean, well, everyone talks a big game and then, you don't really figure it out till you're kind of in too deep.
Would you ever date someone else in real estate?
I mean, I would. I definitely would. I think that, I'm out and about and when you meet people, I think it's nice to meet people in the industry anyways, like whatever industry you're in. But I don't know if I would date another agent.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I would date like some sort of like developer or something like that,
Have you ever dated a client?
Ooh.
I feel like that's like an interesting way to meet someone, but I'm like, is that an ick or is that something?
I mean, kind of, I guess you could say. I mean, you'll see a little bit on the next season. A little tea for you guys. But yeah, I feel like for me, I'm not on apps. So if I'm meeting someone, it is either out and about or through DMs or through someone I'm doing business with. And I actually don't see anything wrong with that because I would rather know kind of what they're up to, what they're like in business, how they treat other people. So yeah, I guess the answer to that would be yes, I would date a client.
And they've got clearance for a $5 million house.
Exactly. I
That's-
have to. Yeah.
Like she's got their finances in
Yeah,
check.
right?
Exactly.
You-
I have
you-
to get proof of funds for some of these properties.
It's the best way to do a background check.
Yeah,
I
that's,
think.
Exactly.
like a sneaky, clever way.
Yeah.
of,
And it's not
finding-
coming from me, so
That's a hack. I mean, free background check?
yeah, exactly.
Have you ever dated a guy who lied about his finances,
For sure, I feel like a lot of people exaggerate.
especially in LA?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everyone exaggerates.
Way too many people driving G wagons who live in apartments in LA.
Yes,
It's like,
very true. My
You
ex,
rent.
my ex drove a G wagon.
oh really?
Yeah,
And he rented?
I mean, he leased. So, but
No, I'm saying
oh no, you meant for the day.
no. I meant
For the house.
His
I meant
house.
like, what did he live in?
Oh no, he had a house. He
He did have a house,
Yeah,
okay.
No.
I
I'm
just,
just
like,
saying.
if
I
you-
heard G wagon and I was like instantly scarred. Like I hear that G63 going up my street. I'm like, is he here?
It's like if your car is worth over $100,000, you need to own property.
You have
And-
to.
And if you don't own a property, you
Yeah.
shouldn't be driving
No.
a six to. Oh, because G wagons are like $250,000.
They're very expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
It is my dream car. I'll
Kinda me
never.
too.
Oh, it's such a dope car.
So good.
Yeah.
They are. They're sexy. I will say G wagons are sexy, but like Range Rovers, I have a Range Rover, and like Range Rovers are a little bit more luxury. It's like
You
that
think so?
soft close. Yeah.
I had a
Have you-
Range Rover.
What?
Yeah. I thought it was fine.
I love
I liked it. Glitchy with the electronics.
not the new ones. We got to get you a new one.
Okay.
Yep. No, the soft close does it for me.
I
every
love
time.
her. She's
What's
getting
the-
you a new
the
house,
soft-
a new
Yeah.
car.
Yeah,
Look at
exactly.
What's the soft close?
You know, like when the door you can like kind of barely close it, and it would just like suction cup. You know, like
Oh.
as opposed to the
Is that a
G.
new feature?
I think it might be fine. We'll give you that. But the G wagon,
been
you
a
have to
few years.
slam it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even when you go in the
a
passenger
tank.
seat, you have to shut it like 5 times. Like I don't have time for that. No.
Isn't there like a tax deduction though on G wagons?
and on Range Rovers?
Is there?
Yeah,
Mm.
I got you. I'll help you. I'll help you with your taxes too.
Will you?
Yep, I can do it all.
I'm not much of a I'm at the end of the day, I can't overspend on cars. I
Yeah.
think when I got a Range Rover, it was right after I was the bachelor. I was single. I had a little extra money in my pocket. And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know what?
yeah.
Fuck it. I'm gonna do this one time. I leased it, and it was fun. I liked it, but I was like, I can't do this again.
But G wagons though, everyone that bought, so they're going over stickers. So people actually aren't losing money on G wagons right now. I have to say they're holding their value. Normally cars depreciate. G wagons, yeah.
Oh my
Mm.
gosh, convincing me.
I know. I really got your
They're
back
holding.
right now.
They're holding their value.
Yeah. So if you can get it, yeah. I mean, They're selling over stickers.
We're
so.
sounding like such snobs, right?
I'm learning so much and taking mental notes.
Right, exactly. It's a write-off.
To be
so,
clear,
like,
we drive an Infinity and an Audi right now, which are nice.
I just
Practical.
don't like.
Yeah.
I just don't like the loud engines.
I know
I
they're
have
loud.
a theory about that.
What's that?
We may have to cut this though. I just have a theory that when men like rev their engines,
Oh yeah, it's
they
Yeah,
have
little
a very
dicks.
small
Yeah.
penis.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
There's
I was going to be
definitely-
politically correct and go small eggplant theory.
anytime I see a guy-
Just went right in, small dick.
To me, it's Porsche. It's Porsche.
Oh.
If you drive a Porsche and you're a guy, I immediately think little dick.
Ooh, okay, good to
Interesting.
know.
Might not be fair. I'm sure across
I'll be
the
like
board it's not the
Forrest
case.
Gump running from any Porsche I see. Now that I'm single. Ah!
I could be wrong, but to me that just screams there's no, because it's not, or like a Lamborghini, like, there's no practicality to it. A
Yep.
G-Wagon, it's got storage.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like a luxury
I
family. Even
love
a
a man in a minivan.
okay, yeah,
Hot take?
hot a
Sorry.
Prius.
Yep.
I'll
Family,
take
family oriented.
Family oriented. Okay.
Like if you
he's
drive like a
ready.
Lambo Ferrari in LA, I don't know.
Yeah, there's something else is going on.
Especially like, and if you're a gearhead, like if you're a car guy, it's like I'm into cars. Sure, but there's like way too many tech bros driving Ferraris, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I know you're
Also-
not into cars.
Yeah, exactly. But
Mhm.
also too, like real car people, like they know the good cars. They're not going out and buying like, just a Lamborghini. Like they have like the old school, like they have like the sexy cars.
Have you ever dated a guy with a really nice car and found out the hard way that he had the nice car for the wrong reasons? Where you like he took his pants off and you're just like, oh, there it is.
That's why.
There it is.
I'm dead.
You
Oh
know?
my God. Well, to be honest with you, I've really only dated, my high school sweetheart, and then I was engaged. So I haven't been in that many relationships.
You've only seen
but-
2 dicks. Wow.
I mean, my eggplant number is really, really, really low. But
There's that headline.
But yeah, Jesus. Oh my goodness. Yeah, right.
Selling
there.
Sunset Stars, only seen 2 dicks.
No. But
Two
like, it's,
eggplants.
I didn't say the exact number. But it's low. Let's just say that. But no, I haven't.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm a lover,
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone's still processing that. Yeah, take a sip of that. But yeah, no, I've actually never dated anyone with a Porsche or anything like that I've had a negative experience with. So,
Why does everyone hate Nicole?
I
Which is like,
mean,
I went back and watched the most recent reunion, and Chriselle was like, I fucking hate you, which I guess I appreciate the honesty.
right?
But like, it takes a lot to hate someone. As an adult, I mean, it's a
Yeah.
lot of energy.
But
to-
when you feel like someone's just coming at you and people are coming at you nonstop and for whatever reason, and if it's for 5 minutes of fame or whatever it is, then that's not cool. And
Do you hate Nicole?
I don't appreciate Nicole.
What,
I don't
what do you
appreciate a lot of her antics. I
Like
don't
what?
appreciate. I knew why she came on the show. I've seen text messages. I've seen proof. I knew she came on the show, and I knew she had, plans to bring up stuff with Chriselle. And so, like, I don't appreciate that. I'm also super, super loyal to my friends and family, and like, I'm ride or die, which you'll see the next season to come as well. Like, I will literally like take a bullet and then kill somebody.
What? And just for anyone who didn't know, Nicole came on the show for.
I mean, she came on the show and she fully knew that she was going to come for Chriselle.
Okay.
And that was going to get her some camera time.
Do you think she went to the producers and saying, if you cast me, I'll go after Chriselle?
Those weren't the exact words that were used,
But like
but
some version of that?
I know for a fact that stuff was mentioned in order to get cast for the show, because I know that when I was getting cast, she was also talking to production. And they asked her to join from the very beginning. She didn't want to do it, didn't feel comfortable. Then the show blew up, became a massive success. And I know that when I was being interviewed by production and we were talking about everything, she was getting interviewed the same time and they didn't take her. Then they took Chelsea. And then she really, really wanted to get on at that point. And so I sometimes feel like when people become desperate, they make the wrong decisions. And so that's me putting it very nicely. I think that she made some bad decisions.
So she's not trying to mend any of the past season's issues.
No,
If-
I
if
think
you ran
now
into
she is.
her-
If now she is, because obviously it's like, hello, you look like the villain. You made bad decisions, and now the world is holding you accountable, and you're not very likable.
Facts.
If you ran into her at like
You
Air
know?
One, would you say hi?
I didn't for a while. I haven't seen her in a minute. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm super like I don't like to be fake and say hi when
I
the
hear ya.
cameras aren't there, and then and then when the cameras are there, be different. So to be honest, like if we're not speaking when the cameras are up, we're not going to speak off camera. I like to like I'm super genuine, so like I'm not going to change whether or not the cameras are up, and I do not appreciate people that do.
Okay.
So
Would you give her a dirty look, or would you just ignore her?
I mean, in the past, I've just like if we've been at events, I've just completely like ignored her.
Would you ever spin her a drink?
Like
how
far
how
would
deep
I
does
take
a hate
it?
run? You know,
Yeah,
because
no.
Rochelle was like, I fucking hate you.
Well, she really came for her. Like she really, and to be honest with you, I feel like everyone thinks it's a good idea to come for Chriselle because they think that they're going to get their 5 minutes of fame, and that's just so shitty. Like, so I'm extra protective of her, even more so than she is of herself. I think.
Gotcha. I've only experienced Nicole. She was going to come on the show twice.
Oh, backed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Incredibly high maintenance.
Oh,
one.
we don't like that.
No.
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 I'm from Boston. I'm super easygoing, down to earth.
She did say she would say one thing and did another twice.
Oh, we don't like
She's
that.
kind of dead to me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't like hate her because I don't know her.
Oh, okay. But she's
I don't-
kind of on the same level as us, right?
I
Like
just
how we view her.
I don't bother with her anymore.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
So-
No. Meanwhile, I'm here. I'm getting you guys some real estate, helping with your taxes. I'll make your coffee.
You just to update you, Natalie, you're out. Emma's only seen 2 dicks.
No, I did not say that. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is definitely going to be a headline. Please no.
It's not going to be a headline.
Jesus Christ. No. I'm saying it's really loud.
Although,
Like I've only had 2 boyfriends.
What is the most annoying headline you've ever seen about yourself? Because Natalie and I get them all the time. Like last week, we were on our honeymoon. And what do you do on your honeymoon? You have sex.
Yeah.
And we jokingly talked about how we had an outdoor shower.
Yeah.
Well, we had an outdoor shower, and I made a joke about like whispering dirty talk. And People Magazine and their friends, like I like to think that they're our friends.
Were they like
They
Nick
covered-
and Natalie had
covered our
public
wedding.
sex?
No, look up the headline.
Is
Look
that
at-
is that public?
It was
That's
like Nick
private.
explains why he has to whisper dirty talk.
What?
That was the headline.
What?
Yeah. What is it? What,
Oh, no, it's literally why Nick Viall and Natalie Joy say they had to whisper dirty talk during their honeymoon.
like clearly just fucking around on the show.
Well,
Oh my. That's
And then
fun,
the
though.
first line is
That
Nick
is
Viall
cool.
and Natalie Joy are sharing some steamy details.
Ooh.
So we were clearly fucking around. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I was gonna say no pun intended. I mean, who doesn't like a good dirty talk anyway?
It's like I guess, but let's just like
Yeah, it's like you can't say anything at this point.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
could have been worse. You could have gotten the Nick and Natalie have sex outside on their honeymoon. A blick.
I actually would have liked that better
I know. I'm here for that. I like
Yeah.
that. That's a fun one.
because like I just feel like because was it Nick and Natalie or was it Nick explains why yes.
Nick and Natalie.
No, you guys were in it together, and
thank
then
God.
it just
We're in it
basically is a
together.
transcript of what you
Thank
said on
God.
the show.
It's just a little creepier when it's just like guy explains why he has to talk dirty with a whisper. You know, it's like ew,
yeah.
yuck.
Like, yeah, what's going on?
But it does
Yuck.
say, it says, Joy starts laughing and asks her husband, why would you say that publicly? So it's not a great look.
Oh, great. Yeah, thank you, people.
well,
Glad
I was caught off guard when Nick did go into some details of said shower sex. So, but you know,
Do you have any kinks?
I'm like, oh God. We need to not go down this
she's like,
rabbit
"Where's
hole."
my notes at? Let me just
Yeah,
give me 1
exactly.
second. I'll just pull up my list."
I mean, like, okay, we were talking earlier, quality over quantity. So, like, you know, I like to make things quality. If I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it, you know, go big or go
Wow,
home.
yeah.
We are a non-judgmental show.
Yeah, exactly. I like to have fun. If I'm in a relationship with somebody.
with the 2 dicks that you have.
No. Oh my God, we need to get off this. No, 2 boyfriends, but
You've
I've
had
only
2
been
boyfriends.
I've only
Right.
had 2 boyfriends. And then I've like had like
By the way, if you
Two or
only saw
three
2, that's totally fine. Again, no
no judgment.
Absolutely
I
not.
honestly kind of wish I've only seen 2.
I have only seen 2.
You've only seen 2?
I've only seen 2.
Whose is the other?
Oh.
Well,
Danny, stop
did-
listening.
I
Yeah.
did marry my high school sweetheart, so
Oh.
that was that. And then there was before on a cruise.
A little something.
A little
Oh,
something.
on a
Ooh,
cruise.
is that how you lost your
Cruise?
virginity?
Was
Does
on a
your
cruise?
husband
Did
know?
not lose my virginity though. Just
Oh,
You
yeah.
You had a big-
saw-
Were you gonna say fondled?
I did.
Speaking of losing your virginity, Camila Cabello, am I saying that right?
Camila
Yes.
Cabello.
Camila Cabello.
Is it? Wait, who are you talking about?
Yeah, Camila Cabello.
Yeah.
Is there someone with a very similar name?
No, I don't think so.
She recently talked about losing her virginity, and she talked about how it was like a sweet lovemaking moment, which I guess good for her. But like,
can't relate.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say it couldn't be me.
I feel like she's setting unrealistic expectations with the young ones out there.
I lost my virginity in a great way.
Was it like a sweet lovemaking moment?
It was.
Really?
I had like what's that song from Top Gun? I had that playing. There was rose.
Take my breath away.
Yes, there was.
You lost your virginity to
Emma, that's
Take My Breath
iconic.
That was
Away.
the only
That
way.
is pretty
That was the
good.
only way.
That's
That was
iconic.
the only way that I would do it. Yeah, there was rose petals in the bed. It was a whole thing. Yeah, I'm a
Mine
romantic.
That's
was-
one of the hottest like sex scenes in movie history. Top
Yeah.
Gun.
Mine was in
It
the
was
back
in real
of
life as
a,
well.
Wow.
Mine was in the back of a Silverado in the woods with like a micro penis, I'm pretty sure.
Natalie, I'm
no.
really glad you made it out of there
We
alive.
don't like that. No.
Yeah, but I was in love with him.
No.
I was in love with him. And I was like,
You
I guess
stayed with
this is
him.
I was like, I guess this is what this is what I'm working
At
with.
least you experienced that first before you went anywhere.
And then
else.
it got
Yeah.
bigger and scarier for
Bigger
sure.
and
Now
better.
it's just massively huge. And it's just so huge and
Yeah.
massive.
People Magazine, are you listening?
Yeah,
Are you ready for
exactly,
your next
right?
headline?
Next, like, yeah, wait, keep going. Keep going.
Mine included mosquito bites. Yeah.
You're losing your virginity?
No,
It was in a
outside.
park, right?
Is it at a park?
Oh, I thought you meant like she had mosquito
That's what I
bites.
thought too.
He's like, I was helping her scratch them. It was very romantic. She's itchy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, wait. So what did you mean?
Yeah, it was outside at night.
So you
In the
got
summer.
Oh, so
bit.
you got mosquito bites.
I think we all got.
Oh.
We all.
We all.
Oh, how many people were
Oh
involved?
my god! How old were you?
Sounds like you saw more than two.
Yeah, this is virginity in an
I was-
orgy.
I was
Yeah.
17. Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow, I was 15. Wow.
Mm.
It's kind of
It
scary
was-
now that we have a daughter. I'm like, oh my
Yeah, you're like 15. I know.
oh
How old
my
were you?
God.
Me? I was young.
Same.
Yeah, I mean 14.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
To
Was it
take
your high
and it
school?
was
To
it was a
take
good
my breath-
experience.
It was a great experience. I am very into that. I've always been into that. So like, yeah, it was a great
Wow.
experience. And then I was only with that person. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like,
I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, well maybe
14.
they're not
I was
setting.
14 turning 15. So like, we'll go with 15 for
was
the headlines.
17.
Anyone? Jesus.
Yeah.
No.
Guys lose it later. I feel like.
Oh,
You think?
interesting.
Oh,
I stopped
yeah.
mid first time.
I
It was unprotected sex, so I was like, we need to stop.
what?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh wow. How old was she?
My age.
Oh okay.
She
okay.
wasn't a virgin.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
You didn't have like that like lucky condom in your wallet that was just
Right,
like
that you-
gathering
Oh,
dust,
yeah, the
waiting.
whole-
Well, I mean, kind of like you
The
said. I
hopeful
think
condom?
she was my age, but she had like her first boyfriend was a senior when she was a
Exactly.
freshman, and
Same.
you know, so
Yeah.
She was experienced.
she took my
Yeah.
virginity.
Literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your theories is right.
Yeah.
No, we used a condom, and then I was like, I don't even think it didn't last very long. I don't think anyone.
Did you ask him if he was
But-
going to start?
I think I thought in my head like,
Is it
I
because
don't
of
know.
the micro penis?
I was like, is it in? I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, and then the next day I remember being like, you have to go and get me like something. I think I'm pregnant. And he was like, I don't know if that's possible. And I was like, it is. I know it is.
Oh, I
was
for
so
sure.
scared.
After I lost my virginity, and then several other times with just like going to third base,
Yeah.
I was convinced I had all the STDs,
Yeah.
all of them, and then I'm pretty sure I was like pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was pregnant.
Yeah, you were pregnant with child. No, trust me. I'm
yeah.
telling you. That's why, like, literally, I've never had a one night stand in my whole life, and I never
no,
could.
this,
I
this,
would, yeah,
this
no.
I think I've told this story before, but in high school, messed around. We messed around. Me and this girl we were hanging out with. No sex, but
Had some fun.
had some fun. And
What kind of fun? Like how much fun?
On a 1 to 10 level,
Yeah.
how much was the fun?
Either
What
way, I
number?
really got in my head. I was super paranoid. And then like I got out the old calendar and I would call her up and been like, so like, how you feeling?
Oh my! But you
She's like,
didn't.
kind of have the sniffles.
Oh,
I don't
no.
know.
And I was just like, I don't know what I was looking for. I was
Yeah.
young and stupid because I was, you know, you hear all these stories about like if someone's pregnant, they're going to start feeling this or that. And like, I also was like, I didn't want to ask her if she got her period, but I also was like, so, you know, and yeah, I was super.
So you didn't have sex, but you thought you got her pregnant.
Yeah, I was,
Yeah.
I thought
Okay, there was other
somehow
ways.
there could be a
Oh,
transfer
from from a swallow to a
something, or
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
something happened. Yeah.
I was, back then it was like the only way to not get someone pregnant or not get an STD was to literally not look at someone.
Yeah,
it's like, do not touch anyone.
Do not make eye
ever.
contact.
Sex ed,
Yeah.
Abstain.
Yeah, and that really resonated with me.
Do they still teach sex ed in schools?
I imagine they do.
Not in my school.
Yeah,
feel like I
my
did.
sister's a
You-
Jewish.
you went to-
It's
Actually,
different.
actually, so Danny's mom is an OBGYN, and she would come in once a year to do like not a sex ed, but like a sex class kind of thing. And that was awkward.
What-
Because it was Danny and I just sitting next to each other while his mom.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, because he was your
Yeah.
high school sweetheart.
Yep.
Oh my god.
How did your parents, either of your parents, ever ask the both of you if you were sexually active in high school?
No, actually.
I never got that
No.
question either.
How do you think we're gonna handle that with our kids?
I have no idea. That seems like really scary. Is it still called the birds and the bees?
I
Like the
think so.
conversation?
Yeah.
My mom and dad were polar opposites. My dad's like, you will not have sex until you're married. And my mom was like, literally teaching me how to give a blowjob when I was.
By the way, I feel like that's
Love.
So yeah, they were completely polar opposites. I didn't even know
Let's
what it
be
was.
on the same page, baby.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
for sure.
You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
be
yeah,
on
yeah.
the same page.
We'll teach her how to
yeah.
give a blowjob.
I don't want to be walking into a room one day and all of a sudden
Yeah.
there's like a banana and a
Yeah, no. Oh my
cucumber like on the
God.
table. I'm like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
the fuck is going on?
Oh my God.
That's
My
so
dad was a
fun.
firefighter. So every time that my dad would go to work, because he'd have to stay over at the station, my mom would let us have like ragers, like crazy ragers. The amount of people that lost their virginity at my house in high school is outrageous.
So you were like the cool house.
Yeah.
Like
The party house. My boyfriends were allowed to stay over when
Oh,
when my
nice.
dad was working. Yeah, it was a whole
Did
thing.
he know all of this was going on while he was at work? He did.
Oh, he kind
my
of
God.
suspect. No, my dad is very.
Does he know
conservative.
now?
He does. Yeah. He
Okay.
Still doesn't
He's
like
still
my mom.
mad
Yeah, he's
about
still
it.
mad at my mom about it. So yeah, my mom's like the mom from Mean Girls. You know the mom from Mean Girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would put on like a
Absolutely.
little skirt, and my mom would be like taking pictures. She's like, "Yes, Emma, shorter. Okay, let's get the socks up." Oh yeah, that was my mom. Yeah.
And your dad's crying next
And
to her.
my dad's hysterically crying, "You are not leaving the house." So conservative. Yeah.
Do you have siblings?
I have a brother.
You have a brother. How was that? How was your mom with your brother?
Oh my God, my brother could do anything in the entire world that he wanted. Yeah, he could do whatever. My brother would have like booty calls over, my walk of shame out. My dad would say goodbye. No boy was even allowed in my bedroom. No.
Was he older or younger?
Older.
Okay, there it is.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I feel like my plan is to be super open
Yeah, you have to.
and it's going to be like, hey, whenever you do it, we're going to talk about it.
Yep.
And I want her like,
That's good birth control. I'd be like, the
Yeah.
last thing I want to do is sit and talk to my dad
exactly,
about it.
No,
right? That's the
honestly,
plan. I'm just going
right?
to be like super the open, like, all right, just just be safe and protect yourself. And just whenever it happens,
Yeah.
let's just talk about it.
Let's
No,
do it.
honestly, when I told my mom I was pregnant, I was like shy. I was like, she's gonna know.
Yeah, she's gonna know I did it.
She's gonna know how this happened, and then because
Yeah. No, I will say though, they're like my mom's approach to like literally just being super open and like whatever you want to do and stuff like that was such a better method as opposed to like some of my girlfriends, their parents were so strict, tried to lock them in the house. They were just sneaking out
Yeah,
and doing
you can't-
way
you
worse.
can't lock 'em in the
things.
house,
I was
yeah.
like the good one.
Yeah, I was very
Yeah.
bad.
I just want to teach River that she is super important
Yeah.
and to value herself. And just, I want her, like, whoever she decides to do whatever with, that like she knows her worth.
How-
Exactly.
Great.
What about
Yeah.
if we have a boy? What's that? Is it going to be the same
Same
conversation?
thing. Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
conversation. It's
Equal.
not going to be like, go and get that.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Right. You say that now. Girls and guys are. My dad treated me so different than my brother.
I do
yeah.
not want
Yeah.
to raise a fuck boy. No,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely not.
Wrap it up.
Good.
I agree.
I want to raise a respectful king.
Hell yeah.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
he can date my daughter one day, as long as
Maybe.
he's respectful.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I feel like we've like arranged several marriages for
Yes,
River
right.
already.
Yeah, right.
Like a lot of our friends who have boys, we're like, and they'll get married one day.
Exactly. Right.
I'm like, back the fuck off.
Like Ashley and Jared with
Oh.
Dawson, we were like, oh, it'll be so cute. They'll get married one day.
I'm
And
like,
it's
age gap inappropriate. No.
No.
he's like 1 year older than her.
Oh, wait, that's so cute. So you're already so protective.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. I am protective, but to your point, I don't think there's no benefit to being the strict
Yeah.
unreasonable parent.
No.
You know, like we have one kid. Hopefully, we're lucky enough to have more, and they're.
Yeah.
I want to remember how I was in high school,
Yeah.
and I want to find a way to have a relationship with my kids where they do feel like they can trust us. You know, like I'm not trying to be their friend.
Yeah.
You know, but I want them to feel like it's they're either going to come to us or come to people that aren't going to give better answers than us. You know, and
Exactly.
I'd rather them feel like it's a safe place.
Safe space.
Yeah. So.
Safe sex space.
Because, like, yeah, I mean, my parents were great parents. I have like
Yeah.
no notes, but
Mhm.
if I were to, like, I was raised very Catholic and very
Mm.
Christian and conservative, and so like you didn't talk about it. You
Yeah.
know, it was very,
That was like my dad.
it was like weird to talk about. You know,
Mhm.
so we didn't.
You don't have sex till after marriage.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was a lot of like, oh, fuck, I'm gonna go to hell. Yeah.
Damn.
Did you grow up religious at all?
Yeah, I mean, we went to church and stuff like that, but my dad was definitely more religious when it came to like, okay, yeah, you will not have sex with anyone before you're married type thing. Didn't work out, but but yeah, I mean, went to church and stuff like that for sure.
What church? I'm kidding.
And tell me all about it.
Yeah, tell me all about it.
How
What are you
was
watching
it?
these days? Do you watch TV? What
I
are your guilty
actually-
pleasures?
I've been so busy, I was traveling and stuff like that, so I haven't been watching anything, but I just started selling OC because I was like seeing all the tea that was going on and all the drama with all that. So
Do you know that Tyler guy?
I do, I've met him. I don't know him like that though.
I've only heard bad things.
No. I've only met him like a few different times.
Well, it's just funny because I was friends with someone who was romantically involved with him
Oh.
prior to him marrying Brittany Snow
Mhm.
or getting
Oh,
together with Brittany
interesting.
Snow.
Correct.
And she told me,
Porsche theory?
what's Porsche theory?
Your Porsche
Small
theory.
dick.
Oh, does he drive a
I'm
Porsche?
just kidding. No, I was just kidding. I thought that's what you were gonna say. You heard?
No, well, I mean, like, I think she has since come out and talked about
Oh.
his. It's everything that's not out about him through Brittany Snow. I already heard that same version. You know, like he seems to be a social climbing clout chaser.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And kind of bad news and kind
Oh,
of
wow.
deceitful and full of lies and
Oh wow.
and it was
Okay.
just kind of fun. Because I actually remember Brittany Snow was in a movie. I went to the premiere of the movie. It was like her and it was about like three friends going out. Anyways,
Does
I
this
don't-
matter? Yeah. I
we
feel
went to the
like-
premiere and
Oh, I know what it is.
it's
I know
called
what it is.
Someone
It's
Great.
that Netflix one. It's the Ibiza one.
Yeah.
Someone great.
yeah, thanks. Anyways, it just
At least we
Oh,
know.
no,
we
it
know.
not
doesn't
Ibiza.
matter. But I was at
Thank
the
God.
premiere and she had just started dating that guy. And I remember seeing her and having heard the story about this Tyler guy being like, and just like, I didn't know,
Yeah.
I didn't know Brittany Snow. I didn't know anything about her. I wasn't going to be some stranger guy and being like, hey, just, heard a lot of bad things about your
Oh,
new partner.
wow.
But I knew all these bad things about this guy. And I felt like bad knowing
Yeah.
all this fucking shit about this guy and not telling her,
Yeah.
honestly. But like, well, it wasn't my fucking place. I don't
No,
know her. I'm not going
exactly.
to walk up to her and be like, just so you know, this guy's fucking bad news. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like for it to all like come out a couple years later, kind of exactly how I thought it would. It was kind of
Oh wow. So
interesting.
you could have saved her.
Could have, but
I feel like people definitely thought that when I was walking with my ex at times. Like she doesn't know what she's getting herself into.
Do you think you're good at listening to other people's advice, or do you need to like make mistakes on your own?
No, I'm a good listener. Like I definitely feel like I need to make mistakes on my own because I do feel like I'm pretty level-headed and I feel like I make good decisions. But I'm not the type of person, if someone tells me something, I will digest it. I will take it in. I'm not like, oh, no, they don't know what they're talking about. I hate people like that. Like, if you can't hear things that are going on and like red flags, I don't want to paint my red flags white. But yeah, I might like tie-dye them for a second.
What were your friends' thoughts on your ex?
Oh, they were not a fan. Yeah, they were not a fan.
Did you know that while you were dating it, or was it dating them, or was it one of those things when you broke up? It is kind of annoying sometimes where
They
they're like,
tell you
I fucking
after?
hated that
Yeah,
person. You're
exactly.
just
They
like,
tell you
"Okay."
after. No. Like a few friends told me during. Yeah, no. I mean, like I would have like the crazy experience. I mean, I think he had been with all of LA. So like, I remember going to the Catch one night. We were at the bar, and I remember like we just walked in. Like everywhere we went, if there was a remotely attractive girl, he had been with her.
Mm.
So like I had to deal with that. And I went from like being in like one relationship my whole life to like now I'm dating someone that like has literally like run through the town. But I didn't know this. And I was like, you know, falling in love and didn't know this at the time. And I remember one time we were at Catch and we like went up to order drinks. It was like a date night out. We were with a group and the bartender was like, she said his name, I guess, whatever, that his name's out there. So she was like, oh, Peter? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, it's Sarah. You fucked my friend Rachel and never called her back. And I was like, what?
No.
But those were things that I dealt
No.
with on a regular basis.
What did he
And
say?
I'm just,
He's like, oh, tell her I said hey.
he got the man, yeah, right? He got the manager. And I'm just standing there like, oh.
Does she still want me to call or?
Yeah, I'm like, oh no. But like those were the things that I dealt with on a regular basis. Although we went to dinner or like we ate dinner because we were with a group. So I didn't want to ruin the whole night. My girlfriend was there. I didn't want to ruin the whole night. And I did get him back because we got like those like little like mahi mahi tacos. And next to it was like a big pile of wasabi. And he was like, is that guac? I'm like, yeah. And he put the entire wasabi on his taco and like ruined his entire night. So I feel like I got a little revenge. Yeah.
I like it.
Wasabi revenge. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm
Yeah.
also like the fact that he took the whole glob and like didn't offer it
Oh.
for anybody else. I'm
Oh
like,
no, he totally.
what-
yeah,
you got what you
exactly. Right?
deserve.
He doesn't
Also,
even
like,
share.
how much wasabi? It's usually just like a little thing. So why did he think there was just like the smallest
Yeah.
dollop of
I don't know, but it was the
guacamole?
best moment of my. It was literally. It will go down as like the best like revenge moment.
stupid.
But
He's
yeah.
like, no, he's like, they're really.
I'm like,
they're-
does this look like wasabi? But fine, take it, sure. But yeah, and he like when I say it ruined his whole night, like he couldn't eat or drink anything else.
That's a
That
lot.
amount of
That's a
wasabi.
tough bite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tough bite
Yeah.
for sure.
That's a great revenge moment.
I love
right?
that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
I told you, I'm taking notes this whole episode.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll give you all the good things.
Where do the ladies on Selling Sunset get their dresses? Because it's like the sports car version of like dresses. Like they
You
seem
like them or you don't?
they're wonderful, but
I
they're elaborate.
Yeah, they're
You know, they don't even honestly seem like
they're
dresses.
not from Nordstrom.
Yeah,
no,
like
no.
they're like seem custom made. Was that always like has that always been a thing on Selling Sunset? I feel like it's
Yeah.
every
I think
season
so.
it's become
Yeah, every season I feel like you have to like step it up and step it up. I came on 4, so I wasn't on from the very beginning.
Okay.
But like 4, like even when I jumped on at 4, I remember coming to the office and I wore a couple things. I remember I wanted to wear jeans one time and they were like, jeans aren't the vibe for Selling Sunset. And I was like, what? Like jeans are a vibe. What do you mean? But like I slowly learned that like they just like it's extra. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? And to be honest with you, I love dressing really crazy and extra and fun. So for me, it's like I get to play dress up every day. So like I don't mind it. And even like when I'm out and about, I've dressed up for years. Even in high school, when my mom with her mean girl
Yeah.
moments, like if it was a holiday, like I was in like a full like stocking outfit. I looked like a Christmas present. So like I like dressing up.
But yeah,
Yeah.
where do y'all like? Are they custom made? Are you? Or
Some
is
stuff,
it just
yeah, some stuff's custom, and then some stuff like
Or do you have just like a stylist pulling?
no, like a lot of the girls. Some girls do have stylists. I just kind of like I do it myself, and I have like friends and family that are kind of over my my cousin's a stylist, my best friend's a stylist. So like we all just kind of like they're like I'm like
Collaborate.
run upstairs, let's go get me a fun outfit,
Oh,
you know.
that's so nice.
So it's really nice. I surround myself with like really, really good people. Because obviously we live in LA, so you never know. You
Hard
could
to
be-
find.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think some pieces are definitely custom for the girls, and then like I don't even know. I mean, Chelsea, I think she put like a belt as a skirt before. Like people just get wild with it at this
a
point.
belt is a skirt.
Yeah.
I
Did
mean,
you
it sometimes it does seem like it's very difficult to walk
yeah.
in some of these
Oh,
outfits.
Have you not seen
Just
like
put
the
it on,
little
it's like-
bloopers where I'm like I like fall down the thing, me and Chriselle are walking in. Yeah, no. And I have wobbly ankles anyways. Yeah. I just
Speaking of Chelsea, how's she doing? Is she? Didn't she like announce a separation with her and her
Yeah.
husband?
oh
yeah.
no.
Are we gonna be able to see that unfold on the show at all, or is that?
Yeah, I think you will be able to see like some of the stuff that happens. Obviously you'll have to tune in.
Do you think?
But
Do you think it was anything show related, or because it's one of those things. Every time reality TV doesn't seem to be a
Yeah.
conducive atmosphere for relationships, and especially when you see someone go from not being a public figure. I don't know what Chelsea was doing before.
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
maybe she was in the public, but obviously being on Selling Sunset is a different level of of being in the public.
For sure. And I mean, some people can handle it and some people can't. I mean, I don't know all of the ins and outs of the relationship for
But
sure.
just from an outsider's point of view, do you feel like it was impacted at all by her time on the show, or maybe he had mixed feelings, or what's your gut say?
I mean, I think that, when you go from like a stay-at-home mom and with the kids all the time to now like you're this. I mean, Chelsea was always just this gorgeous model of a person, and then like now like she's really shining and she has this platform, and I think for some guys it's just a lot to handle, to be honest with you. I mean, in any relationship, hers or mine or anyone else's, some guys can't handle it. They say they can and they can't. They want to be supportive, but like they can't handle it.
Mhm.
So
What's the thing they can't handle the most? What is
I
the
think
thing
it's
they
the
struggle with?
attention. I think it's like the independence, this like, especially, we're on a show where it's really, as much as like some of the women argue, but it is an empowering show. And I think that for women, and I mean, I know personally, like the people that come up to me, like most of the fans that come up to me are young women that are so inspired and like my personality and want to go out and really hustle to invest and make money. So I think that you're empowering women, but also too, like for some guys, like they don't really want an empowered woman. So, it's a lot to handle for some men that aren't okay with it.
I know we were talking about interest rates, and you unfortunately told us it's not like the best time to buy right now.
It's not awful though.
But how does that affect selling Sunset? Like, I mean, obviously you're dealing with bajillionaires,
Yeah.
but like
They're like interest rate, schminterest rate.
yeah, exactly. Don't care.
Yeah. That's why we like the cash buyers for that.
Yeah, but does it affect?
I mean,
the
for
show
sure,
at all?
it's definitely affecting. It's not going to affect the show, I don't think, by any means, because there's always going to be real estate. You're going to get the cash buyers. But it's affecting the market. So it's affecting Jason. The numbers are not where they were, a year ago, 2 years ago. But I mean, the real estate market, like any industry, does
Ebbs and
fluctuate.
flows.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And I
Yeah.
think that, like I said, like even we were talking about buying. Is it the best time to buy? No, for most people, no. But it's also, you can kind of come in and steal a property.
How do you think there's been a couple properties that I like, and I'm like, let's just offer, like they've been up for a while now.
yeah.
And I'm like, let's just offer like what we can afford, even if it's a couple million lower.
I mean, it doesn't hurt.
It's what I think.
It literally doesn't hurt. You do not know how desperate they are to sell. And sometimes, like, I have seen people steal houses that way. And I
Really?
would have paid way more for the house personally, just as an investment. And these people come in and they just kind of lowball. And they're
works.
like, you know what? It could be like that perfect time where the seller's like, I just want to get out of it.
Yeah.
I don't even want to deal with another headache. I don't want to relaunch. I don't want to lower the price. Let's just do it. Doesn't hurt. I mean,
Doesn't
I
hurt.
don't know.
The
how
worst they
much
can say
lower-
is no.
Exactly. The worst they can say, they cannot respond. That's usually
Sure.
the worst. If they're like super, super offended, they won't respond. And then, I mean,
But then if
you
we
might get
find
them to
also-
counter.
and then maybe if we find a little extra pocket of cash, we can be like, we were just kidding.
Yeah,
now we want to offer
exactly.
this.
Exactly.
I don't know if we can afford the number you're suggesting we offer
Well, I don't know how
On
low
that
we
per-
can go
on that particular
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
Oh. Well, if you need
Yeah.
any help, I can help you.
We have I guess a builder that we're like obsessed with. All
Ooh.
of his houses are so stunning,
Very good.
and I like now stalk his Instagram and everything
What's
he
his name?
posts.
I wonder if I-
Ladon.
Oh,
Do
I
you
don't
know
know.
who it
Send
is?
it to me though. I would
Yeah,
love to see it.
he's really really good.
We don't want to put it out there. Like,
No.
if you just want to love
Yeah, exactly.
Prices
Yeah,
just
yeah,
went
yeah,
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Take it back. Take it back.
Anyone
Cut.
rich listening, go buy that fucking house.
Yeah. Please don't. 'Cause I'm every time I see it back
Aw.
on the market, I'm like, that's
You're like,
right. Stay there.
Stay there. You stay there.
The first time we went to go see the house, we were literally like,
Really?
as we're like walking around, and I went up to him and I was like, I wish you the best, but I also wish you the worst. And I
Yeah.
hope that you don't sell this for a long
Right?
time so that we can afford it at some point in our lives.
Well, put it out into the universe.
So-
I'm all about manifestation. So
I mean, the universe is like, babe, you got to chill the fuck out because I won't shut up about it. But
It
You know.
just made sense, the layout. A lot of
it did.
Why do they have fridges in every master bedroom?
right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with
What
that.
is that?
I don't
thing?
know what that's about.
Like it's like an LA. They put like a little like
Mini fridge.
Mini
Wine
fridge.
fridge.
it's like it's not fucking college.
right?
It's like what the fuck do I need a
Yeah.
mini fridge for in my bedroom?
Yeah, I don't know what that's
In
about.
case you're taking a bath, you don't have to run downstairs to the kitchen.
Who
There's
are
a
the
bottle of
alcoholics?
wine.
Like, who
Yeah,
need a fucking-
literally. It's definitely
Jesus
an LA
Christ.
thing, though, for sure. It's definitely some sort of LA
Like,
thing.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, maybe like people are too lazy to walk down to the kitchen. They just want it right there.
Well, this house didn't have one
oh.
in the bedroom, and I
Oh,
quite like
okay.
that.
Yeah.
But it was like astonishing. Every fucking house we look at,
Yeah.
it's like
No, they all have it. I don't know
so
what that's
fucking
about.
stupid.
We could do something better with that fridge.
I gotta ask:
Yeah.
has anyone in your cast like reached out or talked to Christine since her shenanigans? I
Ooh.
know, like you guys aren't really probably very close with her, but like
I mean,
she's been through a lot.
oh, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, the stuff that we dealt with was years ago, and I never really had a problem with her. So it was one of those things where I wish her the best. I feel for what she's going through, like nothing but the best. I don't speak to her, obviously, and I wouldn't really reach out just because we
You just don't
never.
really know her.
Yeah, it would be very weird, I think.
Do you know if anyone from the cast who knew her better has
I think
reached
Nicole.
out?
I think Nicole and Davina.
Okay.
I've seen them together. But I wouldn't know because I don't talk to them much. You know.
Yeah,
what
that's
I
right. We
mean?
hate
So
Nicole.
it's like,
yeah.
yeah. So it's like I wouldn't know. But again, I mean, I wish obviously her the best. Anyone that's dealing with anything difficult, you know, and I don't wish bad things on anyone.
For
so-
sure. Yeah.
But yeah, we're not. I'm not. We're not talking.
Are
on a
they getting
regular basis.
divorced? Did she?
As they should.
I think.
I would assume so.
yeah.
I hope so.
There's a
He
restraining
seems
order.
like a bad dude.
Those tech guys, you never really know.
Yeah, you never know what you
He
get with
probably
those tech
drives a
guys.
Porsche.
They're scary.
Yeah.
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 A
If you
Porsche or a
become
Lambo.
if you become rich and cool as an adult, huge red flag.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like you're making up for lost time, you know.
Yeah, there needs to be some sort of like
Yeah.
adult class for if you were, how to
How to
social,
transition.
Yeah.
how to transition.
I'd rather
to
like date someone after they get everything out of their system.
Yeah.
You know, get it out of your system. I don't want to be dealing with anything. I don't want you to have regrets.
What's
or
your
anything.
ideal age?
I mean, I would say anywhere from like late 20s to early 40s, like 45. I'm pretty flexible. I think like you just have to be mature. Like you have to be able to handle me. You have to be able to handle yourself and have confidence. And yeah, so I'm not like I'm open age wise.
Okay.
I'm an old soul, so I definitely tend to gravitate towards like a little bit older, just because I feel like I'm like an old grandma. But
Do you have any icks that you just can't stand, or pet peeves, or things that just drive you nuts?
Oh, okay. Well, one thing I hate when guys, like if you're out at a restaurant or you're on a date, how somebody treats the staff.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't care how much money you have. I don't care anything about you. I don't care if you've been in the food industry before. How somebody treats staff. Oh, I will never go out with somebody again if
That's-
they don't treat them right.
Yeah, that's pretty typical. Do you have
Yeah.
any like unique ones where it's like,
Yeah, like any funky ones.
we're like, why does that bother you? You're like, it just does.
For example,
Yeah, I need-
I'm like, for example,
She couldn't wait.
I'll take an example.
Yeah. I've talked about this on the show before, but Nick and I were driving together in the car, and we went over a speed bump, and he kind of lifted out of his chair,
Yeah.
and I
I've learned that
didn't.
as a
And I was
man,
like
You
I'm not allowed to do
lifted?
anything feathery or light or dainty or
clumsy.
clumsy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He
He would like trip over like his shoe, and I'd be like, oh my God.
yuck.
Oh, okay. So you're like a little clumsy.
No,
Oh.
but if I ever do,
When it would happen, I'd be
When?
like, ooh, icky.
Oh, okay.
you know?
Yeah. Okay. I will say, like, with my last relationship with my ex, first of all, he was 7 feet tall and like he could not even. There was a lizard in the house one time. He's screaming, I have to get it. Like, and didn't know how to like fix things.
Yeah.
And like my high school sweetheart, he was in construction. So he was like a handyman type person. And my dad was so handy. So like when you're out in LA dating and like everyone's scared of bugs, it's like, what? I have to get the bug? Like I have to get the spider? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind. I'll do that with my girlfriends, but like I want a guy to protect me and like
Yep.
be a man.
Yeah.
So yeah, an ick is like like when you see a mouse or something, you know?
Just unlocked a new one for me.
Yeah.
I can proudly say that not afraid of mice or bugs.
Good. Look
Or
at
spiders.
There you go. He
Yeah.
might act like a
He
feather.
does.
but-
Yeah. He might
but
float
he's-
like a
yeah,
butterfly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't normally do that, but every once in a
On
while, it's like,
occasion.
oops,
Yeah.
like it basically, if a guy has to say oops, it's an ick.
Yeah,
That's what I've
yeah.
learned. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
baby talk. Like if a guy.
Oh, yeah. Disgusting.
Oh my
Gross.
God.
Unless you have a baby.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah. But if you don't have a baby and you're talking like a baby and like trying to be like lovey-dovey with that, it's like,
Ugh.
no,
Yuck.
don't do that. Please
I'm
don't do
grown.
that. Yeah, exactly.
For any couples or anyone looking to buy a house, what would you say are like 5 things they need to look for or they need to make sure they ask?
Like the secret stuff. Like
Okay. So when you're looking to buy a property, I feel like my biggest thing is like never buy the best house in the worst neighborhood. Never.
Facts.
You do not want to do that.
I-
You always
now
want
they'd be like, I love this house. I'm like, look at this fucking neighborhood.
Yeah, no, neighborhood is really, really important. So you always kind of want to buy, even if it's the smallest house in the best neighborhood, your property will go up in value 10 times faster. And then also too, I mean, just jump into the market. Like I said earlier, I know interest rates are crappy right now. I know they're not ideal, but you can refinance. You're not married to that rate. So you can refinance. I always say it's like, you marry your house and then you're just dating your interest rate. So you can always, yeah, exactly. It's like a little
Okay.
mistress.
Okay.
But yeah, jump in as soon as you can. And I think that those are kind of like the most important tips that I would give. Just, neighborhood is key. If you're going to have kids, school systems, things like that. And then, yeah, like I said, just get in as soon as you can because you're never going to regret real estate. Real estate's a solid investment. Any successful entrepreneur out there has real estate, I can assure you. And it's probably not just one, it's a few. So jump in. Go big or go
I
home.
have 3.
I'm not saying we need. I'm saying we should make an offer on these houses that
Houses.
we love.
Oh, we should make
Houses,
multiple
yeah.
offers on
Yes,
multiple houses.
and then they'll just say no or yes, and then we'll be able to pick and choose what we want.
You can. I mean, I've honestly seen people go in, they've lowballed like 3 houses, and then like they've actually stolen one of them. So it's like you will offend certain people. They won't respond. It is
I
what it
offend
is.
people every day.
So then you're totally fine with it. Then you're totally fine with it.
It's not serious. This is all just like a stand-up comedy bit that we're doing here, and that's what I'm gonna say to this. Listen,
Jokes
sir,
and spaghetti.
it's just a joke. I'm just joking with you.
I was totally messing with you.
Yeah.
This written offer doesn't count. It was just a joke. Just wanted to practice.
but
5 days
seriously,
later,
yeah.
LOL.
Yeah.
But if you want to accept it,
Yeah,
down,
exactly. Be my guest.
Down.
You want to lowball them by 20%.
I don't know how much that would be.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
but
math.
yes.
Okay, my bad.
This
Sure.
household
But I
doesn't do
mean, you
math.
never know what's going to happen. If it's been sitting for a while.
It's been sitting for a long time.
Okay, see?
What's a long time in the real estate
Yeah.
market?
Yeah, I'm like, you're saying a long time. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Actually, you tell me. What is?
I mean, like, is it over 90 days? Is it over a year?
Not
Mm,
over a year.
Not
No.
over a year. Okay.
But we're inching up on 90 days for sure.
Okay.
But they keep like taking it off of Redfin and putting it back on Redfin and being like, it's a new
Ah.
house. And I'm like, nah, no, it's not.
Did they not have it listed with like a proper agent?
No, they do.
I think they
Oh,
switched
but-
agents.
I think they switched agents too
Oh.
because I don't know if that agent was selling it. And
Mm.
so
Well, that's always a red flag. So they probably came on like over what it's worth because everyone thinks that like their property is the rare property that's.
I think
worth
that's. It seemed to be priced a bit high. If I'm being-
100%.
If I'm being
I'm
honest.
I'm sure it is because it's sitting. If it
Yeah.
if it was priced appropriately, it wouldn't have sat.
And it
especially
seems
by
like-
how you described it. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
It seems like
Amazing,
builders are
yeah.
still pricing houses if it was 2021.
Yeah,
And where the market's booming.
100%.
And now it's like not.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to kind of like make up for their losses too, and
Mm.
everyone thinks that their property is so much.
Oh no,
more
we
amazing than it
we have
is.
gone back to the open house several times to just be like, let's just remember what it looks like. And
Yeah.
the builder's always there.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
feel like he's always like, yeah, it's just like not like those typical farmhouses, it's just so
he's
different.
Super
It's so
involved. Yeah.
very involved. Yeah.
Well, especially too, like when they switch agents. I mean, I don't necessarily love that because a lot of times they try and blame the agent, even though
It was beautifully staged.
yeah, I'm sure it was beautifully staged. I'm sure the agent did a decent job. I don't know who it was, but sometimes the seller will try and blame the agent, like, oh, you couldn't sell it, so let me try another one. And then they'll also give the second agent a little bit of a price reduction. It's like, well, you probably should have come on
Yeah.
even lower than that to begin with.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
yeah.
remember if it has come down at all or if it has always been
It-
what it is
They
currently.
probably at least like negotiated. I don't know what the property's listed at, but at least like
I thought they went down
50,000
a
or
half a
something.
mil.
Maybe.
They
It's-
definitely
it's-
did. Like probably when they switch agents, like they usually will talk them into doing something.
It's 6.4 and I'm like
Okay.
obsessed with it. And obviously we
They went
cannot
down 6.
afford huh?
Yeah, we're like, we can't afford this house. By the
No,
way.
yeah, we absolutely cannot afford it. But it's beautiful. I'm obsessed with it. That's why we just go in the open houses and sit there and like I just take pictures and be like me and like in the morning and take a picture of them and then go back to our little
Aw.
shitty abode.
Well,
And I just say, work harder.
I'm sure it's a great
No, but
abode, but
It is a
yes.
great abode. But yeah, so I'm like, what if we could just offer him like 2?
2. Yes, I'm sure he'll take
Two,
it.
yeah.
Yep.
He might not respond to that one, but
Not
you know
insulted
what?
at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Dream big, dream big.
Emma, you down to give someone relationship advice?
Yeah.
Great. It's time for texting office hours.
Ooh.
Gooder. It's like so good. Honestly, I love things that are an absolute no-brainer. Sunglasses that cost $25. Stylish, cool, a variety of glasses, whether it's sunglasses, whether it's reading glasses, whether you want fashion frames, starting at $25. I've told you this before, had a pair of sunglasses I haven't lost or broke. Why would I spend hundreds of dollars on designer glasses that look just the same as the $25 ones? It's absolutely mind-boggling.
The best part is they're all polarized. There's no slip. That's my favorite part. You can put them up in your hair. They don't pull your hair. They don't slip. They don't bounce. They're all fun. There's a 1-year warranty, 30-day free returns, 100% carbon neutral company. Like Nick said, it is a no-brainer.
I mean, they have a great selection, and so when you are stocking up on sunglasses this summer, buy yourself a few pair. If you're choosing between 2 stylish options, buy them both. Where could you go wrong? They're starting at $25. If you want to support the show and try a pair, Gooder is giving the Viall File listeners free shipping. You can go to Gooder, that's GOODR.com/VIALL, and use code VIALL for free shipping. Gooder offers a 30-day money-back guarantee and 100% satisfaction. Gooder.com/VIALL and use code VIALL for free shipping.
There's a lot of decisions you have to make when you have a baby, and the one that I feel the most comfortable and safe making is using Huggies for our daughter, River. I always tell Nick that when River's crying, she's trying to tell us something, and that's the case with most babies. They express it through cries, and so we've turned to Huggies. The new Huggies Skin Essentials are here. A brand new dermatologist-approved line of diapers, wipes, and pull-ups training pants that are all designed with baby's sensitive skin in mind.
Their wipes are so thick and pH balanced to help maintain healthy skin. Their wipes have 0 harsh ingredients for a great, gentle clean.
The Skin Essential Diapers features the Skin Protect Liner, which is what helps take care of the ick and stick that can cause rash. They have this liner built in their diapers.
The whole diaper helps protect against the top 2 causes of rash by managing moisture and running mess. The liner gives you the barrier to help absorb moisture and lock away runny mess from baby skin. Pull-Up Skin Essentials has your big kid covered too with a training pant that is ultra soft and breathable to help protect sensitive skin through potty training. Learn more at Huggies.com.
Once again, head to Huggies.com to learn more.
How's it going?
How's it going?
Good. What's your name?
My name is Susan and I'm 34.
How can we help, Susan?
I'm being friendship phased out and I can't decide if I should just get over it or get closure.
Okay. Describe the phase out of the friendship.
Phase out feels kind of wrong because it feels sudden, but also it was a stark end, but it happened like almost a year ago now. And I've tried to give space. So that's where the phase out is, but it was a very sudden end. So it was almost like a ghosting.
Tell me about when it was a friendship. Yeah, when it was tell me about the friendship or how it started. Who was it with? Were there romantic elements? Was it just a platonic friendship? What? Tell me about it.
Platonic friendship, kind of an adult friend I met when I moved cities.
Okay.
She and I became really fast friends. We were both new in a city and we were pretty close. I think I did a big move in my late 20s and really made a lot of changes. And she was around and super supportive of all that. One of the first friends who I made who kind of encouraged me in a grown-up way to do different things in my life. And then we both had a lot of moves.
Okay.
I ended up moving back to where I'm from. She moved to Europe and then back to where we're from. So we both ended up in the same city again. And we were really close here again for a couple years. And then last year we both kind of had a rough year individually for various reasons. And in the middle of this summer, we had what seemed like normal hangout and coffee, but she said at the end that she wasn't really feeling social and she didn't really want to be connecting socially with people right now. And at the end, I was like, okay, well,
Oh,
no pressure.
Interesting thing to say.
We both work on our computers. So if you ever just want to like sit and work on our computers at a coffee shop, that's fine, but we don't have to do a lot. And I think it was like a couple weeks later, and I sent a text just being like, hey, how are you? What are you up to for the weekend? And she called right away. And she basically was like, you're too much. I can't handle this friendship. I need space.
Okay. What did you say?
I am a lot of a person. Like I have a lot of energy and I can be loud and very chatty, as you've already probably noticed. But I know she was having a hard year. So was I. And I felt like it was really out of left field, like how I was being told I was doing something wrong. There was like, you're not listening to my boundaries. You didn't hear me when I said that I don't want to be social, all of these things. And I was kind of like, okay, but I felt like I wasn't asking a lot.
She seems like a lot.
Yeah.
I totally understood. And then I gave space, months and months of space. And I actually reached out in December just to say if we could chat again. She sent a response saying, I don't want to not respond to you, but I don't really have the space to have this conversation right now. And I was like, okay, well, thanks for replying and like whenever you're ready. And then I didn't hear from her and I still haven't heard from her.
What do you not like? So she's not in your life, and it's obviously hard to hear anyone say you're a lot or criticism, especially from someone that you consider a friend or a confidant or whatever. But like, what do you feel like you're missing from not having this person in your life? You know, like what do you know, like what value were they bringing? And I understand like the company and it sounds like early on in the friendship, they pushed you in a way that you appreciated and got you out of your comfort zone. And that probably had a lasting impression, but like a stranger could offer you sage advice too, like sometimes we meet people briefly in our lives that can have a profound impact. They don't have to be our best friends, but when you look back and reflect on this friendship, like what about it makes you feel like this is a friendship I need to fight for or keep reaching out, other than your ego, obviously, and justifiably so, being hurt that this person, criticized your personality, and made you feel less than. And like, it would be understandable if your ego wanted to like get back in this person's life to prove to them that you're no longer a lot.
It's a good question. You might be right in that I think maybe I'm kind of fixating on certain friendships. I think I get also sage advice from other people. You're right, too. And one of them, I was mentioning kind of this stuff to my dad, who basically just told me, like, your 30s, you're going to lose a lot of people. You're going to gain a lot of people. People's lives change. I get that. I think this is feeling like a pattern. And this friend of all of the friends surprised me.
With friends, plural.
With other people, I've been able to address it. With this one, I feel like maybe that this was the most surprising. And also like one of the closest friends. And it feels like a bigger loss.
Did you open up to her about previous friendships and like how you had lost people before?
She and I were super close. Like we knew a lot about everything. I felt like I'd really supported her a lot through some tough stuff, like a big breakup. And then she had gotten in a new relationship. And I had thought I was like getting along with her new guy even.
Mm-hmm.
She helped me through a breakup too last year. I can be a little more closed off. And she was one of the people who constantly kind of like pushed me to not be closed off. in a big way. Like she would call me out and be very frustrated with me when I would resist being forthcoming about what I was going through. I was just very surprised that there wasn't going to be, and there hasn't been, a forthcoming conversation. With other friendships, we'd kind of talked about how we'd both had friends phase in and out of our life and that was hard. So it was surprising that she did that with me when she knew what I was going through with other people.
Yeah. I mean, listen, like a lot of people out there love to give advice they don't take for themselves.
Yeah.
In fact, most. This is kind of reminds me of what we actually talked about yesterday when we were on Reality Recap. I was thinking about this when thinking about Vanderpump. But like, I think when you make friends as an adult, like when you meet, when you're a kid and you meet in the playground, you're in the friend making phase of your life. You go to high school, you make friends. You go to college, you make friends. But as an adult, I think it's obviously harder to make friends. And I think friendships always start very transactionally as adults. You guys are meeting a need. It's just like, and that's kind of how they start. And we're kind of to what your dad said. Like very few of those friendships turn into like true, genuine friendships. And it might feel like it's a true friendship because even though it starts out very transactionally, because in most of that, what I mean by transactionally, it's just like you're meeting each other's needs, like, oh, like I could use a friend here. That need is, we're both in this new city and we don't really know a lot of people. And then you're prone to like want to bond and you're vulnerable. But that doesn't necessarily mean, while you can share in some genuine moments, it doesn't necessarily mean that the friendship is actually genuine and not transactional. Usually you don't find out whether that friend is truly a non-transactional friend until moments like this where you really need a friend and they don't get anything out of it other than just being there for you. And often you realize most people aren't,
And I also think too, like it's okay. I think we tend to look at the glass sometimes when we're feeling sad, half empty. And I think for this case, we could look at it half full because she did push you to go out of your comfort zone and to be more open. And I think that could be a blessing for your next relationships and friendships. And then you take that moving forward. And if it is a relationship that, you're not going to continue and it's not a relationship that, maybe she's dealing with her own things, you learn for your next relationships. And I think that it will just make your next friendships stronger, your next relationships moving forward. So you kind of take a positive spin on it that she came into your life and kind of taught you a lesson to be more open. And maybe that was the purpose of that friendship.
That's great. That was really great advice. Thanks, Emma.
It's a weird thing to say. You're a lot to someone.
I get that a lot. And it is one of the single hardest things I hear. I've gotten it since I was a kid. And it's not untrue. But
okay, but
I see in the screenshot that you sent us, you said, I'm sorry I made it uncomfortable and ultimately hurt you. Was there something, you being a lot.
So that was in the phone call. She was saying that I was ignoring. To be honest, I didn't feel I was ignoring it. I genuinely guess I missed how much I was supposed to read between the I'm not feeling social right now line. That this was I don't want to see you. I don't want you to talk to me. I don't want you to.
Yeah, like is right now, like today or.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to be a better communicator.
I do think.
If they really don't want you to talk to them, like don't reach out to me. I guess maybe you are a lot, but like your friend sounds like a lot to me.
I keep like in touch with friends. Sometimes I get that. Like I'll try to make plans and it'll just be like, that's a lot. I guess I'm wondering what the a lot line is in adulthood because a coffee, a drink, and I don't usually,
like what are these plans
I'm busy
that you're
too,
making?
so
That
it's
is
not
a
like
lot
I'm
for
reaching
these
out
people?
every day. It's like every month. I'll be like, oh, we should do a thing.
I was just going to say, I think we can all agree that this is an absolute her problem and not a you problem.
Yeah, I was literally going to say the exact
Like, there's
same
nothing
thing.
wrong with you. You're not a lot. You're a good friend. You
like, this is a very measured message that you sent. It's very
yeah,
thoughtful.
you're like, I'm leaving this here whenever you have time to respond. Like, I don't even need a response. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to let you know I'm thinking of you and like would love to be a friend. And I think like you know, her saying I don't want to be social right now. She didn't specify like for the next year. She was like, I don't want to be social right now. Maybe that's today. Maybe that's for the next hour. You know, you had no idea. So I don't think you can beat yourself up and make it feel like you're a lot and you were a bad friend when in reality, I think you did everything you could to be the best friend that you know how to be. And maybe I think something's going on in her life.
Yep.
I wonder if the pattern isn't you being a lot, but it's your friendship picker.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you are making friends with the adult like version of like the fuck boys that you could be dating. Where like you're maybe making friends. And listen, it's easier to make friends with people who like have like voids in their life that are looking for other people to fill it. And again, that transactional need, because you probably are filling a need and you're being a friend, but these aren't people who are genuinely looking for friendships. They're looking for people who can help them out. And when you're done helping them out, they no longer need you anymore. And so maybe you're making friends with people who are using you, you know, and you're not seeing that with the friends that and sometimes, listen, making friends as an adult, it's like trial and error. Sometimes like dating, you sometimes have to go out with the fuckboy to find out they're a fuckboy, you know, but like, just like dating and meeting fuckboys, you have to like read the signals and the red flags and the signs of like, is this person really my friend? Or they just like, or am I feeling a need? You know, because no, it's just like, I'm just not getting that you're a lot. I mean, we don't really know you, but just this message alone is like someone a lot. To me, a lot is someone who isn't self-aware, who demonstrates a little bit of delusion, because like that's, to me, it's a hard time being friends with people when they can't see their own bullshit, you know, where it's just like, God, I have to like explain to this person why they, you know, but like you're almost overly self-aware, you know, to the point where I think people who know that about you take that, they can manipulate you. You know, especially if you're someone who's always wants to be self-aware and you're open to feedback and you're open to criticism, those people can take advantage of someone like you and making you feel like you're the problem when at the end of the day they just don't have space in their life for you.
I feel because it's a pattern that I'm trying to figure out how to navigate how to deal with the situation where I understand there are friends you phase out at this phase of life where like you leave where they are and people are busy. But I also don't know that people just all leave their friends or something. And I'm feeling like this is kind of a thing where any like suggestion of friendship from me, and I think I can run into the issue of like not being as open as I should be with where I'm at in life in order to keep things light when I see my friends. So maybe I'm not actually showing up. I don't know. So it was her birthday last week. And I like broke the cardinal rule, you know, I texted happy birthday and it was before I heard back from you guys. So it was like this funny thing. I was like, oh shit, I like literally broke the rule. Does it count in friendship? I don't know. And I got a heart. It got hearted.
Oh, got hearted.
I'm really hurt by what's happened with that friend. And I wonder if like having a closure conversation is fair, because I think that was the question. It's like with friendships that feel like big friendships, if they're going to end because they have to, fine. Every friend, though?
I strongly advise against the closer conversation that you want. Well, no, every situation is different, but especially with this, like someone you haven't really talked to much in a year, it's just like, you know, like a line in my book where it's like, why are you going to insist on having another conversation with this person so they can explain again why they don't want you in their life? Like, that's not closure. That's just torturing yourself.
It's not healthy for you.
You know,
either.
and like this, you're going to make this person try to literally come up with new ideas as to why. And again, I don't think you're the problem. I think your only problem is maybe just having a hard time accepting that this person, while they were your friend and there was a match, just really isn't someone maybe you should be friends with, and you're just having a hard time letting go of it. And that's maybe something that you could work on, because you're doing the thing that a lot of people do in relationships where you're just ruminating over and over, and you're just trying to come. And I've been this person, like, this is who I am. I have to work on not doing it. But like, when I can't solve a problem, especially if I didn't cause the problem, I will literally make up a problem so I can solve it. And I think you're making up problems with yourself and things that you could have done better. You're apologizing for things that you don't even understand. I'm sorry for hurting you. And we are now realizing that sorry for hurting you is you literally texting her 2 weeks later for coffee. That's you're just like coming up with shit, and like if you're that person, like I was that person who will ruminate and have a hard time accepting things ending, you will drive yourself nuts, and you will literally just come up with problems so that you can solve them. And that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think while it's nice that you can like recognize things about yourself that maybe patterns you did in this friendship or something you need to work on, I again don't think it's you. I had a friendship with someone where randomly one day they just stopped responding to me. And it was like out of nowhere, and it was like me just like sending a DM, no response, me being like, this is
But they would look at every story.
But they'd let me know that they acknowledged it, but they would not respond. And so I talked to my therapist about it, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, I don't know what I did. Like I should call, I should figure it out. And my therapist was like, I think call, but if they don't answer, you leave it at that. They didn't answer. And I came to the conclusion that, you know what, there's something going on in their life because I have not done anything to this person. There's no reason that they would be mad at me. I haven't done anything. Just like you have not done anything to this friend. Absolutely nothing. So I think you can sleep at night knowing like, listen, there's something going on in their life. And while I wish I could be there to help them through it, they don't want me. This person doesn't want to be my friend. And it's really hard to grasp, but I think knowing that it's not a you problem, it is something going on in their life should make it a little bit easier.
Yeah. And I do think letting go too is honestly like that could be the best thing for you. And if they want to come back and she wants to come back a year from now and maybe explain things, but you're not expecting anything, it's going to be a weight lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah, I think I was thinking about it after the birthday text, and I did feel almost like I felt like this felt a little bit hard because I was thinking that too with this one. This obviously, I don't want to make this like a bigger thing in this moment because it's not really the situation for it. But I do think that this was representative of a few different ones. And similar things like Natalie, I've also had more than one situation like that one that you're talking about with other people. And I have other friends right now for various reasons having given me like excuses as to, or I don't want to say excuses, but like purely statements of like, I'm not going to be your friend right now because like one of them is like a really long male friend who we've been friends since high school. Various. Like one of them was.
What was the because?
I had a really hard year, like had a bunch of stuff happen and they were like, you're too sad right now. And then
but that's not a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a friend.
No.
And then the other one's girlfriend doesn't like me.
Okay. Again, another superficial.
Yeah.
And I have another friend who has a baby, and I'm kind of glad Natalie's here because I don't know if you've had any experience with this, or Emma, I don't know if you have kids or.
Nope, not yet.
But friends with kids probably. But like her and I were really, really close, and since she's had a baby, it's been that very like stereotypical one friend with a baby, one friend without a baby, and how to navigate that. So it's been this series of friendships. I think this was a representative one, and I'm just having trouble figuring out how to navigate any of the ones when if I have any legs to stand on when it comes to people saying I'm not going to be your friend. And this one was like, this seems like the least of a me thing, and maybe we can get over it. And now it.
I kind of go back to, I think the only pattern here is your friend picker. And I think if you're guilty of anything, I think you might be investing too much in people too soon who aren't ready for the type of friendship that you're desiring with people. Because it's really sad to me that you feel like you're a lot because various people aren't capable of being your friend. And you shouldn't have friends in your life to make you feel less than yourself. Again, like it's very like I think reminiscent of like the person who's going out and chasing the fuckboys and going after unavailable people, or you're going after like romantically people who, you know, just because at the end of the day you might like say a lot of things, well, I like the personality, they're funny, but you just think they're hot, you know, and they make you feel good because you're dating this hot person, but at the end of the day they minimize you and they talk down to you and they make you feel bad about yourself, but you get addicted to that criticism and then your ego kind of like wants that validation, so you're trying to prove yourself to them, and I think you're in this pattern of making friends with these people who truly aren't your friends. They might be friendly, you might have moments of friendships, and I think that's a very tough aspect of adult life. I mean, Natalie and I will have a lot of conversations with various people where I'm just like, this person's not your friend. You know, look at what they're doing and what they're saying. And like you can, again, like it's tough to make friends as adults because again, they all start out as transactions. You know, we don't want to admit that or acknowledge that because like that sounds superficial, but like that's kind of how they start, because it's like, we're not used to letting as adults strangers into our life, and we need a reason to do that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, well, why do I do that? And at first, usually it's just like this common need of like, yeah, I'm new to this city or whatever, but needs change, especially if you're friends with a male who like, you know, eventually he's going to date someone that their girlfriend's just not going to like you. And it's not about you. It's just like, I don't want you to be that close with a woman who's not me.
Yeah.
You know, and then when that happens to you,
that friend and I have been friends since high school, and
sure,
it's a rotating door of like,
exactly.
And then
but I'm saying, but like you are adding this person to the list of friends that isn't accepting you, and now you are going through this exercise in your head, feeling not enough, like there's something wrong with me. Why, you know? Am I too much for people? I don't know. Maybe you are a lot. I don't know what the fuck that means, but like find people who like that about you, you know? And that's the hard part about making friends as an adult. You're gonna, just like relationships, you're gonna have way more breakups, you know? Like, yeah, romantically, you're only looking for one, but even when it comes to friends, the older you get, the more you realize that like, it's not about many. It's not about having your group of girls or guys to go out with. It's about having a one or two ride or dies.
Yeah.
And you know,
I could not agree with that more.
And I think you just have to accept that a little bit more and stop trying to chase these friendships that really aren't friendships.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's funny, the dating thing, I'm kind of the opposite. I'm more the distant dater. Like I don't ask. Like I push. I'm more of like stay at arm's length than maybe with friendships.
Yeah, but either way, yeah. I mean, I don't. Maybe there's a reason for that or whatever. But the point is like there's something about making friends or having friends that I think it's your approach. If there's a pattern, it's your approach and what you are trying to get out of these friendships. And I think you're giving these people who really deeply aren't your friends the title of friends that they don't, and they don't deserve it. And then when they kind of, like Nallie's example, you know, like she just decided to accept that, like maybe this person wasn't really my friend. Mm-hmm. You know, we met, we had some good times, we hung out. Yeah, there was a lot of like, oh my God, we're going to be best friends. And then like the person changed the script, and like had Natalie not accepted that maybe this person wasn't my friend, then yeah, it would emotionally beat herself up to be like, oh my God, why is my friend doing this to me? And it's like, well, they're not your friend. You know?
Exactly.
They're just someone who like decided that like you served a purpose and then you stopped serving that purpose. And it feels icky and it feels like a breakup, but like you have to stop beating yourself up. It's like you're not the problem, and your only problem is not seeing that. All right.
Thank you.
Hopefully all of this advice helps.
Yeah. I feel like it has to. I think it will. I think it does completely. Just being able to talk it through and not want to revisit it, I guess. I think the idea of just letting them go is, like you said, Nick, like a hard one for me. I think seeing people phase out is a weird thing for me, and I have a hard time with it.
No, it's
so maybe
extremely hard.
I just like put a bunch of things in a box and a bow and send it away in my mind for a
I think
while,
Emma
like,
made a really good point. I
people
think you
and-
got to change your POV and how you appreciate these interactions.
Mhm.
Like this friend, you know,
Yeah.
she added value to your
True.
life. I have exes who like, you know, who introduced me to things that you know, recipes or like
Yeah.
or just like they taught me things that like I'm glad I'm not with them in a relationship, but I was like, hey, I learned this thing from this partner. And
Yeah.
sometimes it was things I had to learn like that I didn't want in a relationship. Either way, I'm grateful they're not in my life, but also grateful they were in my life at some point
Exactly.
because like they did have an impact. And I think you have to start appreciating the things that people bring into your life without
Mhm.
obsessing over collecting them so that they have meaning, you know? And people can come and
Yeah.
go in your life and they can still have a positive impact long term, even if the short term impact had, you know, involved some pain and some sadness and required closure. And I think it's just really about your perspective of the situation that you have to adjust.
Yeah, I think I actually frame exes better that way. And I have been able to see my exes with what they've given me and kind of been happy about all of those relationships. And I think it's been friendships shouldn't be the same. Like I'm not playing by the same
Yeah,
rules.
I think that's
so I'm not
yeah, you got to
seeing
change that.
I can do that. And maybe that's
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah, you're
point.
capable.
Because I mean that's the thing. Like a lot of adult friendships are more similar to your romantic interactions than not.
Yeah.
I think also realizing that like
Yeah.
the one who said you're too sad, like that's not that's not a friend.
That person had you in talking about transactional friendships. So at one point they had you in their life so they could feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
And then you stopped doing that because maybe you were going through something and they're like, well, I don't have the patience to be your friend.
Exactly. I'm not going to be there for you.
I'm not going to be there for you. I had you in my life to bring me up, you know, and you're not bringing me up. So like, what the fuck? Again, that's transactional
Mm-hmm.
and that's not a friend. So you have to stop calling people who aren't your friend friends.
And then the one who just had a baby,
Yeah.
I think that's less about you and more about their lives have changed. And it's a lot when you have a kid, and it's harder to connect with the people who don't because it's so much about you and your body and your mind, and your life has changed and you're not the person that you were before you had that baby. So I think it is harder to just
Yeah.
have that like same connection that you had before. So this isn't something you did wrong. This is just life.
Yeah. Also, if you're the type of friend who really wants
Yeah.
to be that genuine friend or
Genuine.
no, not genuine, generous. Thank you.
Oh, generous.
The generous friend. So then you meet these friends, you're like, let me give, let me do this, let me be there for you, yada, yada. And everyone's like, this is great. Give me more of this, you know? But then eventually they stop appreciating it, right?
Mhm.
And then you're just like, well, wait, you know what I'm saying? So I think, again, there's some things I think you can work on. There's some patterns here. I don't think the pattern is you're a lot. I think the pattern is you need to like just, I think, reevaluate
Your
and
friend picker.
reprioritize how you pick friends
Mhm.
and stop giving, yeah, go ahead.
I think maybe I should start dating again because
There you go.
I did a lot of like pushing away dating because I was like, I don't know what I want right now. And then I was relying on my friendships to be close people because I didn't want to let a guy in again
Yeah.
because I felt like
Well, there you go. So then some of these friendships, you were like
I'm
dating.
wondering right now
your
the way
friends.
the way I had swapped the like role of people maybe in my mind was like I was constantly like not letting dating happen because I was like they're too much, they're always too much, they want too much from me. And I think the way Emma said the like people having that role, and I was like I do that but only with guys, and I haven't been able to do that with friends, and maybe I should just date.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And also
Yeah.
remember, dating is like, you don't have to know exactly what you want. Part of dating is figuring out what
Yeah,
you
exactly.
want. You know, it's like, so yeah, try that. Mix it up.
And not thinking they're all too needy
Most of them probably are.
because
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
that's funny.
All right. Well, hopefully this was helpful.
Okay. Thank you.
I think
Very,
if
actually.
I do think you should have a closure moment with this friendship, but it should involve only you. And so
Yeah.
whatever kind of ceremony, write a letter, whatever it is, you say goodbye. You don't have to reach out to this person to do it, but I think the closure moment you need to have is accepting that this friendship's over and you just say goodbye to it, whatever you need to do.
It can be an internal closure.
Yeah. Well, that's all real closure is. But you do not need to reach out to this person so they can remind you and have them make up things that make you feel worse about yourself. That's torture.
Yeah.
And we often confuse closure and torture when it comes to relationships. And you're asking, should I torture myself? And you can give yourself closure. You don't need her. All right?
Okay.
All right. Well, keep us posted how things going. Maybe
Yes.
after you get back in the dating world, we'd love an update.
You can do it.
We'd love to hear some stories. It'll be
We
great.
believe in you.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
Thank-
And congrats you guys on your wedding and
Thank you
River
so
and
much.
all that.
Bye.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Friendships are hard.
They
They
are.
are. They're
Yeah,
confusing.
they really
They're
are.
hard. Yeah.
Have you had some awkward friendship breakups in adulthood?
Yeah, of course. And then to be honest with you, it's kind of like what she said. Like when they end, you just kind of like let them end and I let them end. I'd rather not have a blow up with my friends. And then I do feel like, people come back into each other's lives. And I honestly have had some of the best friendships take a little bit of a break and then come back. And now they're literally some of my closest friends. And each of us just needed to grow in different ways.
Yeah.
I kind of have a question for you about like the workspace and the friendships because you're on a show with a bunch of, beautiful, powerful women. And your job field is very competitive. So I'm like, how do you kind of weed out authenticity while making new friends as an adult?
Yeah, so that's actually an interesting one and a tough one. So like throughout most of my life, like I feel like I hated women that were like felt like everything was a competition.
Mhm.
And that's just not me. Like I am the type of person like I am my friends' biggest cheerleaders. I've always been that way. And especially now, I love that I work with other boss females and I'm part of like these female CEO groups and it's so empowering to be around them. So like I'm so proud of all my friends when they succeed. And my biggest thing is like when I see someone doing really well or if I see someone struggling, I'm the type of person like, let's come up with a business plan for you. I will go above and beyond to get my friends to the next level. So I think when you put that out into the universe, you kind of just figure out who deserves to be in your life and who doesn't.
Yeah.
So like people that want to support me and be happy for me, they are definitely going to be in my life for a long time. And then the ones that I feel like don't want me to succeed, which has happened so many times in my life, they will gradually, go down the river.
Fall by the wayside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my little bit of advice.
No. Yeah. I mean, I think making friends as adults is a topic that is not often talked about, but like a lot of people struggle with.
100%.
And it's very easy to let those interactions really affect your self-worth.
Yeah.
It fucks with you.
No, it really
To
does.
have someone that you thought you were building a relationship with ghost you or
Yeah.
just disappear in your life and not know what to say and they say something that's just like you're too much. Like, what the fuck?
100%.
Like, it's
I mean, I've had the worst relationships like in the past where friends have, said the worst things about me. They have stolen from me. They want me to not succeed and stuff like that. But then I meet people later in life, such as Chriselle and Chelsea, and literally they want nothing but the most amazing things. When I'm killing it, when I'm closing deals, when I'm starting a new business, like they are right by my side and so, so happy for my success and it's genuine,
Yeah.
then like that's
because all they need from you is your friendship. They don't need
Exactly.
anything else.
That's
They're
huge.
doing just fine.
Exactly.
And a lot of people,
Yeah.
again, transactional. It's like
Yeah.
they're not where they want to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if you're an adult and you make friends with someone who's like talks a lot about where they want to be
Mhm.
and not satisfied with where they're
Yeah.
at, like you're at risk of that person not really being your friend.
100%. I say in relationships and friendships, when you don't need anything from them is the best. When you just want to be with them. You just want, whether it's a relationship or you just want them in your life. It's the best type of friendship that you can have, the best type of relationship when you just want and you don't need.
Mhm.
Emma, This has been fun.
This has been fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you guys for having me.
Can you let my audience know where they can find you, follow you, promote whatever it is you want to promote?
Yes. You can find me on my Instagram, Emma Hernan, and you can buy some empanadas from Emily & Co. And I will be adding some meat ones and launching a new company very, very soon.
Hell
So
yeah.
gonna put some meat in my empanadas.
I love empanadas.
And we love meat.
Exactly.
I like the catchphrase.
Right? You caught that.
I did.
Well, thank you for coming. It's been a ton of fun. And thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. Don't forget to send in those questions at asknick@theviallfiles.com. And we'll see you back on Monday. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.